say I swear I heard something. All right, my bad. Hey, what's going on? This is the To Be Fair show. We're here in collaboration with my dog G. I was hoping he was gonna hop in, but we didn't rehearse this. Sometimes
No, my bad. I'm over here. I'm over here trying to type on the joint to say join us on YouTube, but y'all know what it is, man. Shout out to everybody watching.
And this is Unpacked. I'm gonna go around the circle, or I'm gonna actually allow everybody to go around the circle clockwise and introduce themselves. Today we do have a fire panel. We do have a fire ass topic. We're gonna hit on Candace Owens, a lot of the new recent developments. I like to call it the curious case of Candace Owens, and we're gonna unpack it. It is unpacked, so we're gonna kind of really dive into the weeds in it. But again, at the top right, we got G. I'll let everybody, like I said, everybody introduce yourselves. Kind of let them know where they can find you. Yeah.
Oh, you muted, bro.
Yeah, you muted.
G from the G Shit Podcast. You can find me at GSHPOD on all platforms. Appreciate everybody who's been rocking with me thus far. Looking forward to anybody who's willing to come check out what we're doing.
Okay, yo, what's up? I'm A Black. First off, man, thanks for having me again. I'm honored to be here. I think it's beautiful what y'all doing, holding space for intellectual dialogue. So happy to be here. You can follow me at Mayor of Charlotte, and hopefully I'll get my main page back soon at A Black TV. I've been talking to Instagram, and y'all keep your fingers crossed. But what's up, everybody?
That's how you know a nigga trouble right there. When he talking to Instagram to get his main page. He sound like Boosie.
I had to buy a verified check just to get a real person on the phone. So serious.
So what up? It's your boy Johnny P. You can find me every Sunday, at the To Be Fair show. Like I say, I've been looking forward to coming back and sharing this platform with everybody and being able to hear different perspectives and opinions and really unpack that. So appreciate y'all for pulling up.
It's my turn. What's up, everybody? Second time, not this show, but second time being on the show. I'm Alex. You can find me on GitHub. Type in code or I-85, trying to pick up my kids from school. But apart from that, yeah, you can find me on here, hopefully. But go ahead, Q. Let's get into the talk stuff.
All right, I dig it. So again, this is Unpacked, a deep dive conversation into really nuanced conversations where this is a free space to debate ideas. Where disagreeing with a person doesn't mean that you're disagreeing with them. I mean, disagreeing with a perspective doesn't mean that you disagree with that person, if that makes sense. And with that said, the only rule is that we try and stay away from the ad hominems. But chat, y'all kind of do what y'all do.
That mean name calling.
Yeah. Sometimes we tend to let the suspected white supremacists fly. We try not to though. Shout out to Trey. But so yeah, I guess recent developments before we really jump into the main topic. We have hashtag no Diddy sweeping the internets. Do we have anybody with any takes on that?
That's silly, man. It's silly. I'll be quick, man. I just think it's crazy how the news cycle. I feel like every few weeks it's like a new. I don't want to sound cliche, but a new attack on a black man, and it's usually kind of not really based on any proof. These days the allegations are enough to smear you, to ruin your reputation, and sometimes black people can be our own worst enemy because a lot of people live by that whole misery company type situation. So, I'm looking at him, I'm looking at Kanye, I'm looking at Kyrie, Bill Cosby, certain people, yeah, they might have done questionable things but a lot of it hasn't been proven. They're all kind of on the same ilk of being billionaires, giving millions to HBCUs and the other organizations, and then starting to kind of branch off and do their independent thing before the fall happened. So I just been finding the reaction interesting. With me, I would like to see more proof more what he's actually been charged with. I've seen none of that. I just see like a lot of the media kind of doing the same thing. Anybody that reads history or study history, these house raids, these smear campaigns are nothing new. And it's funny because this time last year, FBI raided Donald Trump's house. He was being indicted. Now he's a Republican president for nominee right now. So me, like none of that means nothing. Like I see the smoke and mirrors with the media, and I'm like, all right, what is he guilty of? Who does he have shit on? Because a lot of times they raid your house to destroy evidence on other people, other more powerful people. And I just hadn't seen nothing like, all right, he do nasty, freaky shit. Okay. None of my business. But where is the crime at? You know, so
Right. I guess these are the two things that I have heard. Again, I haven't did like a super deep dive, but just in passing and listening, one would be the idea that he does have a lot of what's his name, Epstein-esque information on people, and which is maybe blackmail eligible. And then there is the whole like the whole idea of what was on that plane that went to whatever that state was, or
he went to
you know what I
Antigua.
mean? That,
I think Antigua.
yeah, where you can't be extradited because everybody thought that it was him on the plane, but I've heard like the idea that they wonder what was actually on there, what information, or if like he got tipped early. But yeah, I don't know. Does anybody else have
I've heard rumors of sex trafficking behind the raids and whatnot. So, you know, it's like every a lot of what you said is true in terms of smear campaigns, but the other side to that is that everybody behind that curtain on the industry seems to know that this nigga Diddy is you don't want to party with this dude. Like Cat Williams said, you gotta tell him no, you can't go to the parties. And that's not like oh, do you hear that one time, 2 times, 3 times? Like you've heard that many a times over the years. And when you start talking about sex trafficking and these in correlation with these freak offs, I think now you start looking at like, was that Taken, where them rich dudes was sitting at the joint and the young girls was in there and they was bidding or whatever the case. Like who knows what's going on behind these closed doors. And if I got a private jet, if I got a private jet and I can go in and out of the third world, I go down there with a small bag of money, bring them onto the plane, couple hours, send them back down in the morning. And it's like, it seems like something that I'm like, okay, like you start talking sex trafficking, had a white boy drug mule. Man, I don't know, man. Diddy's living a movie for real.
So
I'll say this.
Oh, go ahead, Johnny.
No, I'll say this. I mean, I think like what A Black was saying was true. I mean, I think there is like when it comes to us, people are going to they're going to be a little more critical, and we're going to have less margin of error when it comes to that. I think it also goes back to, we know that Diddy probably not the only person doing that, but it comes to like when you have that much money, it's like, where are you putting it? A lot of these, you know, on the other side, they're not getting called out because they're paying lobbyists. They're in Congress and they're working deals with a lot of the power structures of this country. Where, you know, Diddy, he's not doing that, and that's and a lot of black entertainers and a lot of black people, when we get money, we don't have the financial literacy to understand how to play that game. And when you don't have that kind of political power, it's easy to come and, you know, get you because you ain't got nothing on the people that really matter, them prosecutors and congressmen, you know, stuff like that. So I think that's, you know, more of it. Whether he did it or not, did he do it or not? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Oh, that was you making a pun right there.
You saw that.
All right, Alex, what you got, bro?
I mean, I think it's I understand what y'all saying. Well, not A Black, my bad. I understand what y'all saying. You know, like, you know, sometimes in the media it does feel like, you know, black men are kind of put in, you know, the Times Square to kind of get, you know, tomatoes pelted at them. But I think kind of what's going on in parallel to Diddy, like, I mean, people kind of dragging Dan Schneider for that Nickelodeon stuff for like from way back in the day. And then like, I mean, technically, if you watch the documentary, all Dan Schneider does is, you know, do skeet jokes and feet jokes. So, and like they
Logo
dragging.
was a
Yeah,
foot.
nigga, he was getting massages too. He's a
I
wild
mean, he had
boy.
the massages and like he's a
Wild boy.
bad boss, but like he's getting dragged like in the same kind of. I mean, he's not getting his house raided, but like I mean, just how the feds work in America, like they're not about to kick in your door if they don't have anything to go in there. It's not like Oprah wanna make a documentary about you, surviving Diddy. Like no, like if the feds are kicking in your door, like there's a good reason why. And to say that Diddy doesn't have financial literacy, like way back in the shiny suit era, like Diddy has had money. Like Diddy, I wouldn't be surprised if Diddy is a billionaire. He has financial literacy, but like I think what's the most damning thing with Diddy is Diddy. Like when Cassie was like, "Hey, bro, like, nah, man, I'm tired of being in this dungeon. You gonna pay me?" What did he do? He settled. He didn't go to court. He didn't try to fight it. He was like, "Man, I don't need the smoke right now. You're not paying people millions of dollars to have them shut up unless you did something." So,
I mean, can I give a slight pushback on that? There's been numerous times in history where the FBI has raided people's homes and there has been no proof or nothing for it, but for merely to create a circus around these people. We can talk about our Black Panther people from Fred Hampton to every almost Black Panther had their home raided by the FBI with no sort of evidence. And not to compare Diddy to like great civil rights people, but at the same time, it's like, when do we start trusting the FBI to say things like, "Oh, well, they must have something. They're not doing it for no reason." They do this shit all the time. Like this is what the FBI, the CIA do. They do psychological warfare. They do media manipulation and media programming. They're going to put these things on the screen and going to put the public opinion, the court of public opinion, against people to sway everybody what they're doing, and then they try to find something. If they had something, like you said, my man was talking about sex trafficking. You're doing something that serious, they'd have proof by now. This man would be in jail by now. Like this nigga is not no fucking super villain. Like
I don't know. This is a part of they gonna hang that nigga for sure. That's one thing I think we all agree on. They gonna hang him.
They said the same thing about
like how do you?
It's about the same time last year. Andrew Tate was getting sex trafficking charges.
He still got him today.
No, he has allegations, but charges have been dropped.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, they have.
No, they haven't. He just got locked up. He just got locked back up again.
But that was also in a whole nother country too. Like that's Romania. Yeah. So I think Andrew Tate in Romania is totally different than Diddy in America. I think things might not apply the same.
I'm just saying, like both of his more than one place of residency got like a warrant like issued. I get what you're saying, but like I said, I'm not saying you gotta trust the FBI, but like
I'll just say with this, it seems to be a pattern.
It wasn't Kanye.
I don't know what that was. It seems to be a pattern with people who go rogue, who go de facto. Now, if you know Diddy, Diddy has been, if you remember from the Vote or Die campaign, he's been pushing Democrats. He's been a part of the political machine for years. When you are in line and you have that money, you say. The moment you kind of step out and try to do anything on the Black empowerment, Black upliftment thing, him announcing from Revolt 6 months ago, going into Black news, trying to make the Black CNN, you become a target. There's no Black billionaire who is pro-Black, who speaks out, and who hasn't become a target. If you stay quiet, Jay-Z, Robert Smith, Byron Allen, you're safe. But the moment you start really trying to uplift Black people for real, you become a target. That's all I'm saying. It's a pattern. Like,
so you think Diddy? You think so? So wait, so Diddy is a Black uplifter? Like that's what this nigga is? He's a.
I mean, the last time I checked, Sean had to do a whole bit for that man. So I don't know.
Like Diddy preaches pro-Black. He markets pro-Black and he markets love. But behind the closed doors, clearly this nigga is not giving out the love, man. He's giving out abuse. He's giving out. He's giving out. This dude Diddy, man. This the thing. I don't think,
and that's Black people saying it.
I don't think exactly right. Like the Black entertainment community knows you can't party with this dude, and should we trust the FBI? Like, that's like, of course, right? Like, we could even argue Candace Owens mentioned that they went in there to destroy evidence that he had against other people, for example. So, like, yeah, can we trust exactly what's going on? Not necessarily, but I don't think we should be using this as a way to say, look at how they're doing black men, because Diddy is a wild boy. And I don't think we should be defending the things that he might get caught up for.
I agree, but I also think I shouldn't be condemning anything that hasn't been proven. You can be a wild boy, you can be freaky, you can have threesomes, you can do all of this shit. And you know what? People can change their mind years later and say, you know what? I was abused, I was shamed, I was forced and stuff. But people also act like hoes don't exist, hoe shit don't exist, and people be down to be around celebrities, to be around that lifestyle. And years later, when they have nothing to show for it but moral decay and a soul decay, they flip the script. And then it becomes a trend when one person comes out, oh, Cassie got 30 million. I can go for it too. And then
fellas, I know we could probably make a whole impact on this right now. It sounds like so two things. One, we kind of add a natural segue into the Candace Owens part. But before we get into that, I do want to kind of like just throw out the whole condolences for the whole thing that happened in Baltimore with the bridge incident. I think that that's something, you know, fair enough to be able to make sure that we kind of recognize, especially, you know, Baltimore is a fairly black city. And this is a black panel about black things. So, like I said, I think this brings up a natural segue. Candace has been, she's been on a run talking about Diddy. So, yeah, let me find it and we can get into it.
Have definitely covered it, right?
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
You know, it suggests that he was the Jeffrey Epstein of Hollywood, that there's a blackmail ring, that people are being given drugs, they're doing things while they're drugged, and then those people are controlled, right? Because if you're a rapper and your brand is hardcore and I have a video of you kissing a guy and I'm like, I'll release it unless you say or do or take this position, that's a blackmail ring, right? So, hello.
What do you have to say to
That's a funny video.
Let me find it. There we go. So yeah, nonetheless, I think that's like I said, a good time to kind of not keep going in that conversation. I know that got legs for days, but that does throw into the Candace Owens conversation. So I love to take the temperature in the room real quick before we kind of get into topics. How do y'all feel about Candace?
Like a raise a hand kind of thing, or just
nah, just whoever want to talk. Matter of fact, we'll go clockwise. G, you muted, my boy.
Honestly, when it comes to Candace, I just observe, because she's become such an influential figure in the space. So in terms of my feelings, I don't have really any personal feelings towards Candace. I don't think she's this huge villain that we can't give a platform to speak. I don't think she is this genius who knows everything and that she says is like correct and all that stuff. So I just more so give credit to especially a young black woman who's managed to carve out a niche for herself in such a space. It's not easy to do in general, but you know, I can respect the hustle and the grind that it takes to do something like that, and she's been steadfast with it, so I can respect that.
I dig it. A Black.
Yeah, pretty much word for word what he says. No personal ill feelings against her. Lately, I've grown to love her because I just feel like you say it's hard being in this space, and you know, the more you talk, the more you tweet, the more liable you are to kind of say something everybody hates. But you know, it's brave what she's doing, being smart, being intelligent, and I feel like, you know, when you love black people, you love black people. I don't have to agree with everything she says. Like my grandmother, I love my grandmother. My grandmother is the most homophobic person you go meet, transphobic. Like, you know, my dad. Like we got family members who don't agree with our views, and we're still able to stay cordial with them. We're still able to understand and to love them. So I can't sit and call her names because she's not creating no policy that's hurting nobody. She's not killing nobody. She hasn't really done anything of damage. She's not affecting the youth. If you go around and ask little girls who Candace Owens is, they don't know her. But they know Sexy Red, they know Lotto, they know Coyle Red, they know the City Girls. So she's not poisoning the youth. You know, she's an intellect who is dealing with intellectual shit. And you know, I like her fearlessness, you know, so that's why I'll leave it for now for her.
That new Sexy though it's undeniably a hit. It is undeniable, that new Sexy, right?
Which one? The one with the kids and the daycare?
The joint that get it sexy, get it sexy, bro. That joint goes super hard. I can't even front. I cannot even front.
Hey, everybody got their taste. Like I say, I love her too, but that ain't for me.
Hey, we can't hear you, Q. Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we good. We good.
All right, my bad.
Nah, we good.
Johnny.
Nah, like I say, I kind of, I agree with the fellas. Like I say, it's in today's world. Sometimes it's hard to have an opinion, and she's definitely somebody, that has an opinion, whether we agree with it or not. She, she believes what she believes for whatever reason. Like I also like what a black say. I think like as black people, we have to like give people a little more grace when we disagree with them, and I think most black people want the best for black people just like naturally. So whether we agree with what they think about, whatever subject, we have to understand that, as black people, there's going to be a spectrum of, where we fall on all these arguments. But as long as we pushing forward and, trying to stay united, that's the more important, whether we agree or not. I think we can always disagree, but trying to stay united, that's more important. And I think she wants that. Yeah, but that's all I got.
Gotcha. Alex.
Man, I'm about to
listen. I know you got a lot, so we gonna keep unpacking. Just give like quick initial thoughts.
Yeah. My whole thing about Candace Owens is, I honestly think that she is kind of if you talk to enough people and you kind of talk to them, like you can kind of tell what people think, how they think, and why they the way they think. And I think Candace Owens is one of those people. I think Candace Owens is kind of indicative of the journalism state of this country, of it pretty much being non-existent. So Americans, and mostly Black Americans, we have to depend on non-journalists giving us news, giving us opinions, being our thought leaders. And to be quite honest with you, I don't think Candace Owens is an intellectual. I don't even think she has a single solitary thought that doesn't aim to support her own self-interest or the self-interest of her mega white donors that like support and fund her throughout her entire career. I know everyone kind of like, like they'll see Ice Spice come out of nowhere. Oh, she's an industry plant. But you go from making 3 YouTube videos and then you're like the head of Turning Point USA, you going on tours, and then after that you go to PragerU, and then after that you go to Daily Wire.
Hey, Alex, I'm gonna lean on you in a little bit to give a quick synopsis of her.
I'm just breaking it down. I'm gonna clean it up. Like honestly, I think for the things that Candace Owens says, and for me, I'm trying to understand like Black folks who like praise and support, like, hey man, why about disagree with her? She's just saying what's on her mind. Man, let that girl speak. But then like rewind back to 1994 where Hillary Clinton is saying the exact same thing. And it's like, man, don't vote for Democrats. She's talking about we super predators and we killing ourselves. Like to me, I really would like to ask all the like fans of Candace Owens, like, why me? I'm not a Hillary Clinton fan, but like for Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden to pretty much be the things peddling the things that they were playing about the Black community, and for them to draw an ire, deservedly so. Hey man, don't vote for them. Don't vote for Democrats. Don't do that, man. That's crazy. Don't do that. But Candace Owens somehow says the same exact thing, just like a decade and a half later. And all of a sudden, it's like, hey, man, sister just trying to get her words off, man. Let that girl speak. To me, it's kind of indicative of things, but I'll let it be. I'll go ahead and shut up.
I got you, Trey. Looked like your head was not. Matter of fact, make sure you introduce yourself. But yeah, let us know.
What's up, everybody? Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's good? My name is Trey. I know the homies for a long time and everything. Appreciate the podcast and speaking on a lot of issues and the opportunity to lend a perspective on some things. As far as the topic goes, home before me was spitting. Like I agree with everything you said because I think people give Candace Owens like way too much of a pass because this is a lady that said things about Ahmaud Arbery, him not being like him kind of like deserving what happened to him, not being innocent and everything like that.
Breonna Taylor too.
Breonna Taylor, right? And then even with George Floyd, she said he overdosed, made a whole documentary about it. And then she does all these things talking about Black Americans. The second she says something about the small hats, game over. So I like the way that, as much as I have my opinion on how I think a lot of things that benefit them aren't necessarily fair, especially how we see how we're treated. I do respect how they have like kind of a backbone to where they don't allow people to go out there and spew negativity about the people like without being punished. So I think we could do a better job of not giving so much grace to people that are used as tools against us by people who have all of our worst interests in mind. And I've heard people say white supremacists break all their tools, but they're done with them. And I think that also applies to Diddy as well. So it's just very good to see like what her demise, and what I would really hate to see is us give her a grace enough to come back, because right now she's racially homeless, and it's a great thing to see.
And man, that is Trey. Trey gonna come in hot if it's anything about it. All right, so
Racially
cool.
homeless.
I think that we
houseless. You houseless.
Oh yeah, unhomeless.
but yeah, it sounds like we got an interesting conversation ahead of us, for sure. I'd like to cue the story of OJ and ask y'all this first question. Boom, boom, boom. Still,
My name is Black.
does that apply to Candace Owens inside this situation?
Heck yeah.
She has been on the, maybe since 2016, 2017, on the conservative side of I guess you would say the politics, or just the political sphere. And through all of those things, she's found herself. She was recently at Daily Wire. Again, still speaking that same conversation, the same talk that she's always had. But the moment that she diverted away from what the consensus was, she kind of got the boot. And I mean, again, I'll ask y'all, story of OJ, still nigga. Is this a case of it? Yeah, I throw it in there. Whoever wants it.
I mean, it is. It is, because I mean that's how they treating her. But as you know, how are we gonna treat her? Trey was talking about like punishment, and it's like if they done with her, it's like, did we not agree with anything she said? I mean, did she not have any points,
No.
or are we just are we just like getting mad at like the things that we might not have agreed with? Because I think some of the stuff that she might have said, probably does hold a little bit of credence. Now I ain't gonna agree with everything she said, but she's this person that had a lot of views, and so if we're gonna be done with her, how are we gonna like punish her, or what do we do? If we're truly done with her.
Shunned and ostracized. Just keep it simple.
Can I
Hey,
ask?
Black.
Can I ask? So they say she got fired from Daily Wire, right?
Uh-huh.
Who's the biggest personality on Daily Wire?
Ben Shapiro.
Okay, and who will be after him? Her?
Yeah, I think she is.
Oh, they got that
Ben
fat
Walsh.
dude.
Oh, my bad. They got Jordan Peterson there now too.
And they got that fat dude that always talks bad about black folk too. What's his name?
Whitlock, Jason Whitlock.
Yeah, they got Jason Whitlock.
I don't think he's with the Daily Wire though.
I'm pretty sure he is. I didn't look it. I can look it up.
About that, I definitely don't like him, but that's another convo. But yo, so I asked that to say it's like, once you become bigger than the brand, once you become pretty much uncontrollable, I feel like she didn't really lose nothing. People are trying to clown like, oh, she got fired. Oh, they do you the same way type shit. She's building her brand now. She don't need them. Like most the average person don't know nobody else on the Daily Wire. She's bigger than the Daily Wire. And so once they realize that,
maybe to niggas, but the Daily Wire is.
that's why I said the average person don't know somebody else on that platform. She's bigger than everybody right now.
I don't know about that one, bro.
Ben Shapiro is pretty.
Okay, you can
Been
go
everywhere.
to the average people. They don't know no Dave Shapiro. They know Candace.
Yes, they do.
No, the average black person might not, but the average person will know.
So if we're talking about black people punishing her and she don't say a single solitary thought that nobody agrees with, what I'm saying is this is a 34-year-old black woman who's taking attacks from all sides. She's growing in her intellect. Like if you follow her, she's had some crazy views and she's admitted it. If you watch her Full Out Breakfast Club interview and her recent stuff, she's admitted her growth. She's admitted when she's been wrong. And
but
like,
when the show's over?
What do you mean when the show's over?
I'll let you speak, Ed Black.
They're saying she's admitted when she's been wrong. So I mean, the show's over. Yeah, you reflect. You see things. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have tweeted that 5 years ago. Shit, you go find my old tweets 10 years ago or any of ours. I'm sure you had some type of growth.
Listen, my Facebook memories be crazy. I
said some stupid shit on Facebook back in the day.
I'll be like, what was
I
that?
don't know her as no thought leader for black people, but I do give grace in the sense of where I can see growth. I can see somebody being humbled and admitting humility, and like they are allowed to grow in their thoughts. You know, like this whole thing of like condemnation because somebody doesn't agree or they say some things or they say some off-color stuff. Like some of the shit might be off tone, but it be true. Some of it might be completely wrong, and she might be. I don't know anybody.
My bad. You keep saying a lot of things you said is true. Can you say what does he say that's true?
The main thing that she speaks on is the destruction of the black family and the family structure in general. And I know my man in the middle was saying she don't have a single solitary thought. Like you can't not listen to her and not find nothing that you don't agree with. Like you're just looking to disagree with her if like everything she says is wrong. Because like nobody is always right. Like and nobody should. That's why we have discussion. That's why we have dialogue. That's why we grow in our thought. But like I don't look at her as like, oh, Candace Owens is right about everything. I see somebody like, oh, she's trying, she's learning. You know,
I get that, but
because we had a question. I'll try and answer. I know that her platform, which she stands for, is to help the black community outside of like the classic traditional black conservative and conservative viewpoints.
Is that what she says herself?
Yeah, that she says herself is father absence is like the main problem inside the black community, which is absent fathers. She say education is really huge. It's a third point right now, and I'm blanking on it. But like she kind of has like a 3 to 4 point like platform when it comes down to Black America that she kind of consistently hits. Maybe it's the Democratic plantation.
Let me jump in real quick.
Okay.
The thing about Candace Owens is I think I keep hearing like people saying give her grace, but like what I am more fascinated about more than anything is why are we making these special carve outs for Candace Owens when we don't do this for anyone else? Like, what's that girl named Stacey? Wait, let me get it off, man. Like Stacey Dash, she said what she said, and she's gone. Where is she? I don't know. Like the last time I saw her was when my wife was watching Clueless. You know, Omarosa, she was popping like she was Trump's main cheerleader. The minute they didn't need her no more, like we didn't like, hey man. Omarosa, man. No, we didn't do any of that. She was gone. It was good riddance to her. But for whatever reason now, like everyone is like, hey man, Candace Owens, she was saying a lot. Like anything Candace Owens said, there are already black conservatives who were saying it for years. On all across the board. Males, females, white people.
Special?
That's the thing.
Why y'all mad at her? Everybody been saying it.
Nobody's mad at her, bro. Like it's the fact of the matter of that
What you mean? Who isn't mad at her? Y'all are the first black people I've met who are saying anything positive about her. I'm gonna be like straight up with you. Even a lot of white people I know.
No, we used to. It's not like we've never said anything negative about Kanye.
Bro, y'all
I love
forgetting her
black
for
women. I
downplaying
just
slavery.
love black
Like
women, and I'm
everything,
for
she
black
always
women
uses the weapon
always.
against us.
So
She's
did
a traitor.
Kanye. Kanye
And
said
y'all
it
are
was
like
a
trying
choice.
to cozy up to her, bro. This is why we're at the
Didn't
bottom.
Kanye say it was a
Not
choice?
nothing
You
that
give him
Candace
grace.
said is because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overtalk, but like it's just mind blowing how y'all are just giving haven to someone who will sell us out in a heartbeat, and y'all are just like rubbing her back, like welcome back. You said we are bad. If we would just quit abandoning our children, maybe we wouldn't be in such a bad situation. If we just loved the oppressor a little bit harder, then maybe like she come on, and her husband is a Brad, which is okay, but I don't know, man. I don't mean to rant, but
Because
I'm
like
just
no,
very
but I get
surprised.
what you're saying, Trey. Like, cause like I think
And then let's go to G after this.
Yeah, I'm not a big Don Lemon fan, but like Don Lemon has said a lot of wild, silly stuff too. But like I don't see nobody like, hey man, it's messed up what they did to Don Lemon, man. We gotta give bro a chance. No one does that. Don Lemon,
LGBT behind him. He got an army. We don't gotta say that.
how? Where is Don Lemon now that he's got kicked off of CNN? He's gone. He's in the same.
He got 20 million. He settled.
No, same thing with Candace. Candace had to get paid out whenever they ended her contract. She got paid out too. Candace Owens has a net worth of $5 million. She's not hurting either. She's not struggling. But the one thing I want to say is one of the things that Candace Owens was always prominent about, like, hey man, y'all on the Democrat plantation, I'm over here free. I'm saying what I want. I'm speaking my mind. That's why y'all hate me, because I'm always talking my mind. What's the first thing she tweeted once she got fired? I'm finally free. So, what are you free from? You're free from saying whatever, all the free stuff you wanted to say? No, that is indicative of the grift that she's been grifting this whole time. Candace Owens was saying what she needed to say to get paid, and she was either saying it because she didn't believe it, and that was going to get her paid, or now she is like, dang, man, this ain't going to pay no more. Now I'm going to switch my bag. That like it's crazy, man.
I'm saying,
when
hey,
Hillary Clinton, hold on. When Hillary Clinton took her 1994 crime bill self back on the Breakfast Club and like, hey, Hillary, you got hot sauce in your bag, right? Oh, I sure do. All the black community like resoundingly, nah, that's not enough. Stay over there. But Candace Owens can go on the Breakfast Club and sing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song, and that's all it takes. Come on, man.
So I'm gonna toss up the G. Then Johnny, it's on you. Hey, Unc. So it's a call-in link inside the YouTube. So if any, and this is for anybody that's listening, anybody that's watching, it's a call-in link.
Hey, hop
hit
on
the
here,
call-in link, and we'll bring up, fresh opinions as they come in.
Up here, man. Come on.
But G,
I got a couple of points that I just want to hit on, because one, I think I gotta push back against this. We should like exile people and not bring them. Now it's one thing, like just like somebody who's sex trafficking, abusing people and stuff like that, exiling for those things. Okay, I think it makes a little more sense, right? Exiling just because we don't see the world the same way, I think is a little bit different. And so from my point of view, I see a black woman and I don't, and so even though I don't agree, I think this woman should have the space to be what she is, because I don't see her out here like, committing crimes essentially. Right. Aside from that, I don't, and again, I'm not a pro Candace Owens. I don't follow her content like that, but some things I think to consider as it relates to her recent marketing and her split from the Daily Wire is, one, when you talk about the modern broadcaster, even a Stephen A. Smith, he has his own platform now. You got to have your own thing to stand on in like the modern environment. If you're in broadcasting, no matter whether it's sports, politics, whatever, you can't just be on the network. You got to have your own thing. I feel like she got to a point where her own thing gave her the power to really do what, say, she wants to do versus maybe placate to an audience. for monetization. That's my personal opinion.
Gotcha. So let's go.
One more thing.
Okay,
One more
ahead.
thing.
And then go to Johnny, then A Black, and then we'll kind of continue on.
When it comes to the Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro, the other piece to this that I don't hear as many people talking about, that they're both conservatives, but Ben Shapiro is a Jewish conservative who is pro-Israel.
Yeah.
Candace Owens is a conservative who is not pro-Israel. And so her boss is a Jewish pro-Israel conservative, and she's having talking points that go directly not just against what he views, but challenges his heritage and tradition, like from a Jewish perspective. So there's a lot more at play there than just, oh, black girl said some stuff there. Like there were some things there that I just think fundamentally there was a split.
And to me, I think that's where the still nigga thing is. But all right, so to clean up where not necessarily to clean up, but to go along to where you was at. So with Candace Owens, she's actually not like pro-Palestine or pro-Israel. She just said I'm cool with, or I'm not cool with innocent people in general dying. In which, if you know anybody that's pro-Israel, there is kind of like they want to, like what they do in Palestine, they want it kind of like to be justified, if that makes any sense. So with that, there's been a lot of pushback, and I guess move to this question that I had.
Hey, hold on.
Came out. All right, so I'm gonna throw to you first, Johnny, on this. All right. So
I gotta hit this other Candace point first before we move somewhere else.
Oh no.
No, it ain't even nothing. This is
all right. So
question.
Johnny, hit it real quick, and then I think where we was just at kind of segued itself. How about this? I'm gonna throw it and then hit both points. So what is moving into is they're calling. You gonna love this, Johnny. Trust me. They're calling her terminology, or the terminology. Maybe y'all have heard this. Christ is King. In essence, they're saying that she got fired for Christ is King, and they're saying that saying Christ is King is anti-Semitic. And it's pretty much, I guess, a pejorative if like it's used in the context in which she was using it as. And I don't know. I think I'm interested to hear y'all. Of course, we could probably go down a full rabbit hole on this one, so we ain't got to stay too long. But Johnny, I toss that to you with the rest of the commentary you're about to get to.
Yeah. No, I won't touch the canon, and it ain't like it's just this like when we having these political discussions, like me and Trey sat up and argued for 3-4 hours a couple weeks ago about something. That's still my dog. I ain't trying to feed Trey to the wolves because me and him don't agree on something. But it's like when it comes to like we talking about like, and it's a black woman, and we talking about like not giving her grace. But we was just up here talking about how like P. Diddy deserved grace. Trey, I heard you talk about R. Kelly and Bill Cosby deserve grace.
Wait, my goodness.
Bill Cosby is innocent.
Oh man. Oh, Lord have mercy. This man he's about to fight for Cosby and say Candace Owens should be racially homeless.
But see, but we can give Cosby grace, we can give other people grace, but Candace Owens don't deserve it.
Wait, Trey.
She don't even deserve to be black. She racially homeless.
But you giving R. Kelly grace over Candace?
R. Kelly, I don't.
Dang, bro, you're in a pretzel right now.
Grace. It depends on what you mean, grace. And
Johnny said it. I don't know. Y'all have conversations.
I'm okay with Step in the Name of Love. I listen to all his music. I don't care anything about that. Honestly, I think that he should be able to do music and all the proceeds go to benefit people that are alleged victims of what he's allegedly done. So. I mean, I'm not wouldn't say I'm defending R. Kelly, but I think R. Kelly, what he's done is way less egregious than Candace Owens, because what Candace Owens does to black, when she basically justifies our being harmed, she puts us in danger. And then when she speaks bad about black people constantly and beats that drum about how we're just fatherless and keeps making it sound like we're degenerates, that's the same thing that they do the Israelis do to the Palestinians, so that they can justify killing them. And then we've had a long history of them making us look bad in order to justify harming us, even going back to the first MGM movie, Birth of a Nation, where they demonized us to come and attack us. So I think what she's doing is way more harmful than y'all giving it credit for. We can't allow people to go up there and just make us look like degenerates and then say things that aren't even true and belittle our slavery and then justify when police officers kill us. And y'all are saying that, oh, give her some grace. It's cool.
Hold on, well, no, I think if Grace, like, if we have to wait for, you know, the somebody to be proven guilty and we should still allow Grace, I think Grace should be across the board.
It's not about that.
I don't think we have to agree with what somebody did to understand, you know, the struggle as a black person, understand how even if somebody else was doing it, they might have targeted this person. Still not right, but we still have to understand each other's struggle. We don't have to agree with it, but we still all black in the thing.
So it's okay that she puts us in danger.
But R. Kelly was actually parked outside the high school dangerously. Like,
I mean, to be fair, R. Kelly's low-key having a lot of fun in jail. Like, did y'all see them videos? He was like singing and playing basketball and all kind of shit. Like, don't worry about R. Kelly. R. Kelly having a ball, bro. Like
right. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be in jail either. And I didn't say what he did is right or anything like that. But I think, again, like, so I guess nobody agrees that what Candace does by adding to the mainstream narrative that we're basically everything bad about us, they say about us is true. And her being the black person they put out there to be the voice behind it. Y'all think that doesn't do anything to put us in danger when a police officer can kill us and they can say, well, Candace Owens said that, you know, justified it.
They gonna do that if Candace is quiet.
Yeah, like they didn't kill us because Candace said it.
We gotta be
weak. Yeah, this is like sticks and stones, bro. Like I get what you're saying, but like nah.
R. Kelly was actually dangerous.
I got one
we don't got no tapes.
I got a question
Candace,
so fellas, I got a question one to break the ice. Relieve the tension a little bit, then we'll get right back into it. So let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think that it is a prerequisite to be black conservative that you also have to have a white partner? Whoever wants to answer this.
I
get serious after this one, but yeah. It seems to be what everybody does, from Candace Owens to
Kamala Harris to Ketanji Jackson Supreme
to the
Court.
Officer Tatum.
But yeah, those are Democrats.
I don't know.
So do the black liberals. The black liberals got white girls galore.
To be on ESPN, you have to have a white partner. Or if you're a woman,
Malika Andrews. Yo, I feel like
still
with you, if you want to be in certain rooms and you want to rise to certain levels, having a white partner helps them people. I don't think it's necessary, but I think if you look at the landscape of people in those high positions, they are choosing white partners because they are validating them in certain areas. Like I mentioned,
not for black men. Right?
Nah, I don't think so. It's like Barack Obama, like the dude was literally president. His wife was Michelle Obama from Oprah.
Barack Obama is
only black women.
Barack Obama is always an anomaly, but before Michelle Obama, he dated a white woman.
But he had to drop her to get elected.
Yeah, but what? Why did he have to date Michelle? Because that was going to be the only thing that was going to elevate him to the presidency.
Right.
So,
I mean, say that's one exception. And
Tim Scott, he lost the election. Oh, my bad. Tim Scott only helped for what? Thurgood Marshall? Not Thurgood Marshall.
I mean, to be honest, that was his imaginary girlfriend. So.
All right. Hey,
so I don't believe it.
Like I said, I just wanted to break the ice for a quick second, and we can get right back to it. But before then, we do have an audience member that did call in which I'd love to get your take on where we're at in the conversation. I'm gonna give you about 3 minutes to just kind of get it off, and then we love for you to join us for a while in the panel. What's going on?
Get them right, huh?
What's happening?
What's up, big dog?
What's good?
Yeah, look. Everybody want to talk about Candace Owens, and people saying Candace Owens, oh, you're a Candace Owens basher, and it's that. Nobody is a basher with her. The thing with her is this right here. Candace Owens said a lot of valid things towards black people that needed to be said towards black people. But it's not every time what you say, but it's how you say it and the platform that you put it on. She came from a platform that wanted black people to be looked at a certain way. Now, what she was saying was some things, and most of the things was things that we needed to hear, and we need to hear. But what she said was wrong. It wasn't wrong what she said, but it was how she said it. She said a lot of things wrong in the eyes of people that that's not, their mind's not there. Their mind's not thinking like that. Sometimes you have to just put yourself down to the level of the audience that you're speaking to. She spoke to an audience that wasn't us.
Mm-hmm.
She was speaking to an audience about us, but not to us. About things that she had been talking to us about. And the whole problem with her is, like I said, I don't feel bad for her like I don't feel bad for Wendy Williams. The two of them did the same thing. They sat out and they did things and they said things about people. Then once things happened to them, now they want people to feel sorry for them. No, I don't feel sorry for you. You put yourself there. You did what you did. Let it live. Okay, growth. Oh, people are going to grow. So-and-so, whatever. Okay, you're growing. You grew. And also with the criticism you gave to everybody else, except the criticism that came to you. That's what she needs to do. It's not about us sitting around and talking down on her, because a lot of points she had was very valid. Because you can sit and say far in things like school busing and all this. The problem, I had a problem with school busing years ago. Why? Because if you are sitting at the same bus stop that your grandma stood at, school busing didn't work. It's a lot of that don't work, but it's not about what you say. It's how you say it and the people that you say it to and the people that are putting the battery in your back for you to say it.
Yeah.
That's what her problem is. That's why, I'm sorry, but that's it.
No, you good.
Thank you.
You actually lead into a question that I had that I wanted to pose to the panel. And it says, are we triggered that she's having closed door conversations in front of white people? Or is it that we feel that she's pushing for acceptance for the people that don't have our best interests?
Yeah.
I'll toss it into the air for whoever wants.
Ooh, hey, could you repeat that? You said, is she?
Are we triggered that's because she's having closed door conversations in front of white people? Or is it that she's pushing for acceptance from those people that don't have our best interests?
To me personally, and like I say, I'm the one that just was talking about giving her grace. But the one thing that got me mad, because I always talk about this, I think, like Uncle was saying, I think the conversation is different when I'm talking to this group right here versus if I'm on a totally different platform and their agenda is something different. If I know their agenda, I'm gonna have a different conversation versus I know the agenda. We don't have no agenda. This just, this just community. This just us. So I feel like I can have a totally different conversation. So it's that first one to me is I feel like those are closed door conversations that she's having out there, and the way that she's having them is what could trigger me. Also understand that, if that's some of the same conversation that we having in a closed door, I can't be mad at it, because if I said it to you and you ain't get mad at me, then why you gonna get mad at her for? I understand why you would get mad at her for saying it out there, but at the end of the day,
so I guess
there's
I'll
merit
ask
in what
next,
she's saying.
I'll ask the next question to you that pretty much what your response begged is, so if it's right, why does it matter?
To me, that's why I think we owe her grace, is because it was right. To me personally.
I mean,
let's go Alex, A Black, Trey. And then we'll round off with Trey. Not Trey, with G.
I think we gotta look at the facts. If you compare the black vote, the Hispanic vote from 2016, 2020, and even as recent as a recent poll that they did, the black vote for a conservative has increased. So why am I saying that? I would like people like Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens. I don't think that they're all the cause for it, but I think that's the general movement in this country where Black Americans, heck, non-white Americans are all feeling like, man, this ain't working, right? So think about it, right? At a time where the non-white vote is increasing for the conservative party in our country, they get rid of one of the most prominent people. Y'all gotta wake up, man. Like Candace Owens wasn't here to kind of help us. She was here to help herself. And she was helping herself at her own detriment and at her own community's detriment. Cause bro, she brought them to the playoffs. She's like at this point, like I think the black vote for the Democratic Party it hasn't been this low since 1999, and they got rid of one of Johnny. I ain't talking when you talk, bro. They didn't they got rid of her, and bro, like think about it. They got rid of her at the most critical time. We have an election coming up, and they could care less. Why is that? Because it was never about like help getting y'all to come to the conservative party to do this, and Candace was talking all this truth to power. No, Candace Owens gets paid to be a white supremacist attack dog. One. And now that the money train is like kind of dried up and the conservatives got what they want, it's like, man, I don't really need you no more. You're not worth the hassle. You're not worth the trouble. I am not getting a return on my investment. We no longer need your services. Go back to where you came from. If Candace Owens went on the Breakfast Club back in 2018 at the height of her, I guess, her stardom, that's a different story. If she went on the Breakfast Club when, Candace Owens said he liked her thoughts, that's a different thing. Candace Owens crawled. Like army crawled on her belly to the Breakfast Club and wants to tone down what she says. No, man, like y'all gotta wake up, man. It's one thing, but hey, that's all I gotta say.
I got you. Hey, Black.
First off, you keep saying that, she's doing things for her own benefit. Like, name me a black woman or a person in mainstream mass media that's not doing things for their own benefit.
Alive or dead?
Right now, currently.
A black woman in mainstream media not doing things for their own benefit.
Think about that. We'll come back to that. Then let's go back to her crawling to the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne himself said he called her because they've been friends on the low for years. And she's admitted, because I follow her, I'm a diehard Kanye fan. So once they connected and I saw that she was supporting him, I've kind of been paying attention to her since then. She was saying that black media wouldn't sit down with her. Black media wouldn't debate her. They wouldn't have her on her.
That is a lie. Roland Martin has an open invitation for her to debate her ever.
Martin with his no neck having ass ain't gonna do nothing but.
Oh, now you bashing black media? Oh, come on.
Hey, hold on, Alex,
Roland Martin.
Alex, let him finish out. Go, keep going, A.
Black media, she made a challenge, but I follow her show on YouTube. Two black media to have him on the show. Joe Budden was the first to respond, then Charlamagne. So there was this whole thing of I'm not going to sit with her. I'm not going to talk to her. Same thing they do with Trump. Like a lot of black people, we're not even going to have a conversation with these people. Now she's getting popular, and it benefits them because you say she's only wanting to benefit herself, but it also benefits them. They get millions of views when they have Candace on as well. And now black media wants to have her on the show. And the black media that have had her, nobody's been able to really give her a pushback or really give her a debate. And then they end the show like they did with Breakfast Club. Well, let's see how black you are. Can you sing Fresh Prince? Do you know God is good? Do you eat hot sauce? Do you eat fried chicken? Like dumb nigga shit. But there was no real pushback, no real challenge or debate because they sat there and they agree with most of her shit, and she be sitting there educating them. And they can't really disagree because she be making a lot of sense. Is she wrong?
I interject, please.
Everybody on this panel wrong sometimes, yes. But you got to look at somebody and give them a chance when it's tough being famous. It's tough, like being attacked all the time, and that she's brave enough to go on these platforms and to try and to grow and to show her growth. And like to me, that's admirable. As a black woman, she ain't.
Can I interject, please?
Well, I'm almost finished.
Wait.
I almost finished. You can laugh, but you're defending R. Kelly, saying that she's more dangerous than him. When
I don't agree with that one now.
I don't see that at all. I do see every other black woman that's on mainstream media being way more dangerous than Candace, from the Sexy Reds to the Lotto to the even shit. You can maybe say Beyonce. Beyonce don't say shit about shit. She go get her money for herself and gets the hell out of Dodge. Pops back out, get her money for herself, and gets the hell out of Dodge. So I'm saying, like, to say this woman is so dangerous, like, how weak are we that Candace Owens can take down a whole race? Like she's not hurting niggas.
But you see, like how you're comparing Candace Owens, a political figure, to like celebrities and entertainers.
Because I'm comparing her.
I'm telling.
All right, so hold on. Real quick,
what makes her a political figure? She's not running for anything.
Yeah, I'm comparing her because these
are a political pundit isn't a political figure.
No, they're a broadcaster. Like just because she broadcasts on politics, she's not she's not running for office. Like what?
She's a political broadcaster.
Is Diddy a political figure because he told everybody to go vote?
Is Glorilla, who was just on CNN?
So let me get this.
Hey, Alex, hold on real quick. Let's go. I do want to go to Trey, and then I'm gonna go to Unc. So Trey, Unc, yeah, go ahead.
Or I think selling out your people is more dangerous than you make it seem. And I think it's a good case study with how. Do you see how Ben Shapiro treated Candace Owens when she said something negative about her people? And I wonder what it is about. Oh, his people, right, or whatever. Yeah, his people. Excuse me. I wonder what it is sometimes about Black people where we're one of the only people that when someone says something negative about us, we're cool with it, and there's not a crazy backlash. I think it's like an internalized self-hate, and I think the things that she says negative about Black people resonates with our internalized self-hate. Because otherwise, why would we would a Jewish person with a rabbi not be outraged if you said anything? If you even say stop the genocide, they're outraged. With a white person, they won't take down statues of mass murderers because if you say something bad to them, you're anti-American. If you say we talk about Black on Black crime, but we don't always talk about the cartels. Like every group of people, they're just as bad. They're worse than what we've done in our positions of poverty. But when a Black person goes to some white people and for a check says something negative about Black people, we're the only group of people that would be cool with that, for one thing. And also Sexy Red is not mainstream. Like
negative stuff. Like most of our rappers who say negative stuff about
bro,
Black people,
there's no such thing as Black media. You said, is there anybody on mainstream media who doesn't sell out for the people? No. Oprah, Joy Reid, what's the woman that says something crazy about what Kobe Bryant? Just the list goes on and on. They're all against us because look, they're not independent. They're funded by white mainstream media, and that goes even down to The Root and a Roland Martin. Like
who gotta sell out?
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not. That doesn't mean that selling out's okay just because a lot of sellouts have platforms. So I'm not giving them a pass or Candace Owens. Sexy Red is a sellout, but at least she came from poverty and she had to, it's like paying a homeless person to fight another homeless person. You're gonna blame the homeless person for taking the money? Like, it's easy. You can easily find, if I had the camera and the money of the mainstream media, I can go to a trailer park and find somebody and offer them a meth pipe and some meth or whatever and tell them, all right, tell me something bad about white people. And then white people aren't going to get together and be like, oh, we show our bad. Look at how we are. Like, this, people just have this internalized self-hate where we just agree with that thing.
But the self-hate is real, though. You keep comparing us to other demographics, and no demographic has been psychologically traumatized like Black people. The self-hate is real. It has to be acknowledged, and that's why it has to be spoken on. Like, you keep acting like it's not there. People hate
justifying them.
And Candace Owens is a paragon and arbiter of truth when it comes to talking about Black trauma? I don't think so.
She's not even from here. She's an
immigrant.
Hold on.
If anything, she
let me just say something. Let me say something for a second. The guy with the M, the red M on your shirt.
Yeah.
You. I love Black women. I'm Black woman this. I'm Black woman this. Okay, good for you. You're a Black woman. Okay, you love Black women. But what does that mean about when a Black woman says something that's ignorant as hell? That doesn't mean anything. All you're saying is that I love Black women, whether they're right, wrong, whatever. Yeah, I love Black women. Okay. But when she says something that's out of the way or says something that even though it might not seem like it's detrimental to everybody, sometimes you got to look as far as in what she says and what she has done. She has done things that hurt people in certain ways, right? She sat there and she did them for monetary reasons. Okay, she got her money. she got her bag. So just because you out to get your bag, does that make you correct? No, it doesn't make her correct. It didn't make Oprah correct when she got her bag. Look at what she said. Let me talk, brother. I didn't interrupt you. Please close your mouth while I'm speaking right now. Let me talk. Let me talk and let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. Please. What I'm saying is this right here. What she did for herself at that moment. Now she's sitting out here, and once they sat and moved her from her position, now she wants the people that she hurt to come back and accept her. Okay, all right, we accept her. Okay, we accept her because she's a woman. She's a black woman who did something wrong. Everybody does things wrong, but everybody isn't always accepted back into it. You don't get accepted back into the community just because, I was wrong for this. I was wrong for that. Once you get accepted back in the community had to come together and put you there and have you put there.
What community?
But until then, she has to.
Who has she hurt? Tell me who she hurt.
Me.
If you got hurt by this woman's word, you
yeah, man. It hurts me when I see people.
Can I say something? Can I say something more than that right there? Brother, you sound like someone that has never been through anything.
Wait,
you sound like someone that.
Hold on.
I'm just saying.
No, I got it. So my bad. Let me refresh and obviously Unc is a call-in, so he wouldn't have known. But one of the main one of the rules that we try to adhere for inside like these conversations is stay away from the ad hominems. Let's only attack perspectives, not the person. I don't mind. So let's. I get it, but
I'm not attacking. I said sound like if I offended you, I apologize.
Just go to the ideology.
I apologize.
Again, not for sure, but I think that could this devolve into like some fun back and forth like shit talking fest? Sure, but I think that for the platform in which we're trying to cultivate this as, let's stay to just purely the ideologies, the like the thought process. If we feel like she has
I
harmed
understand.
us,
I got you, nephew. I got you.
So I'll throw to this question to you. What is something that she has said specifically to you that you feel has harmed the black community?
Harmed me?
Or you or the black community? How we want to frame it?
What I'm saying is things far as in like when she said what she said about George Floyd. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. It was a point that was, right and then sometimes you have to have sensitivity.
Yeah.
She had no sensitivity when she said that. When she said that, she came from a place that seemed to be pure malice. She's saying like she came from her gut what she meant. She meant that. Even if she didn't mean it, even if the things she said George did were correct, it's a time and place for everything. Because every time a black man does something, you pull him back into something he did from his childhood or when he was a younger adult. But once a man becomes a man, that's what I'm speaking of when I'm saying that we have to, you saying that you forgive people, why nobody forgave him? Why she didn't forgive him? Why is it that we have to forgive her, but she didn't forgive him? Now, you love black women so much, Red, but why is it that you, Red, did not sit and see that she hurt that man? She hurt that man's family. She hurt his kids. She hurt others that sat and cried when he sat there with that knee on his neck. Red, what's wrong with you, Red? If you did not see that, Red, my brother. Come on.
And I guess for clarity, and we're gonna throw right to A Black.
Red, that's my new name.
Red.
Red. Hey.
But no, she did put out and this, I guess this was the bullet that I had. That's the only reason I'll kind of interject. She did put out a full documentary about George Floyd, in the whole entire situation. I kind of don't know where the panel sits at with George Floyd, but M Red, this is an alley oop for you. Go ahead.
So I don't really know this whole thing. This like I love black women thing came from they all infallible. I've been sitting here going in on social media, all these other.
Yeah, I think that was G that said he loved black women.
I
But
do.
I don't
I
know.
do.
It
I
came
think we all do.
I
Yeah.
do love black women as well.
from.
I ain't never had a snow bunny, but we'll keep going. My bad, M Red.
I
Keep
love
going.
most black
No,
women.
no lashes for you, Q. No lashes for you.
Yeah, what Candace said, was it tone deaf? Yeah,
Mhm.
of course. Like, was it maybe all the way wrong? Like, I don't know. Like, at the same, like I say, I'm not gonna condemn somebody.
You elaborate, my bad. Or is that I'm gonna jump in, but you said it wasn't all bad what you said about George Floyd. What are the good parts? My bad.
Like I say, I said I don't know if it's all the way wrong or all the way right. That was her opinion, and I'm not gonna act like it
So
really
what-
affected me personally. Like I just said, like I feel like it might have been tone deaf, but when is it? When would it be a right time to say it? At the peak of the BLM movement, 5 years later, like it's gonna be tasteless, no matter what, because it's a sensitive topic that galvanized the country. So nobody wants to hear anything negative about somebody who's become a martyr.
He's not a martyr.
To a lot of people, he
No, it was about George. It was about the police brutality. It wasn't about George Floyd. Nobody's celebrating George Floyd. Nobody looks up to him. It was about what happened to him.
Martyr to a lot of people. When your face is being plastered, when
Jesus was a martyr.
Okay, well, in this small encapsulated COVID time, he became a martyr.
A martyr is revered, bro.
He wasn't.
He was not revered. No, like revered means respect. So nobody respected George Floyd. We just don't think police officers will be able to kneel on you until you die.
And I agree with that, but I think people did respect him. I think he was up.
Nah, it's more so like what's that echo?
I'm not sure where it's coming from, to be honest.
I think it might be
Yeah,
I'm sorry, my bad. I'm turning it down. It's me.
Okay,
My bad.
gotcha.
It's me.
Somebody mentioned earlier about Candace and her being on the platform that had certain narratives, and if you're saying things for shock value and you're going against the grain, that seems to be the wave you go on. Like me personally, I wasn't hurt. I could understand and I'll empathize with somebody that was and their family. Does she have full responsibility to their family? No, she don't. Like, but at the same time,
she justified the lynching, bro.
Right,
you still justified it.
Hey, so fellas, I'm gonna hop in real quick, and I think it's probably a good space to segue to the next topic, in which staying with Candace Owens, and we kind of like beat the dead horse a little bit, but I got a meme, so it is a To Be Fair show, so I want y'all to react to it. But the question is she divisive, and is it justified? It sounds like we're kind of diving into that space right now a little bit, but I'll play this quick little piece, and we can get into the conversation.
This is proof that Candace Owens does not like us.
This mugshot, and I went,
Look.
it's kind of cool.
Huh? How is that cool? He is a villain, allegedly. Candace.
He looks hard. He looks rock and roll. He looks like
It's cool, but let it be a black man up there. You're gonna be like, oh, he was such a criminal. He was such a criminal.
I want to wear this. This
Wow.
feels
Wow.
rock.
Wow.
I didn't know that was how everybody else was going to feel about it. I just knew that I thought it was kind of amazing.
Wow. Just wow.
I didn't care. I said, this is obvious.
Yeah, my bad. I wish I would have been able to find one without the woman in the
commentator.
background commentating. But nonetheless, what as y'all seen that the GRIFT label gets thrown out often, right? Where this would be an example of placating to a white audience in a sense of typically if that was a black man, it would be demonized. So I'll kind of throw it up. Is it justified, like the vitriol to get stoned at her a little bit? I'll throw the A Black first, and then we'll kind of go however y'all want to go.
I wouldn't think that clip is enough to say she don't like black people. Like, first off, a lot of black people don't even like themselves, but that's another sense. Like, and then the lady, even the commentator was saying, "Oh, he's a felon." Like, we don't, people don't love felons every day in our culture. So I mean, that ain't no reason, to hate. You hate black people, like. I mean, I remember when the mugshot came out, it was jokes. It was people were saying it was cool. Like it was a joke to people. Like it was either you thought it was funny, you thought it was cool. People was putting it on t-shirts, but to me that's not enough to be like, oh, they don't like black people because she said Trump mugshot looked cool. It looked like a rock star. Niggas stick mugshots all the time, and they post their own mugshots. I'm like, hey, look at me. I got locked up. Like people, our culture, a lot of our culture has made being locked up seem cool, whether it's good or bad. A lot of good people have.
Where do you get these talking points from?
Let's go to G, and then let's go to Alex. And then we'll go to Unc. Sound like Unc, you want to hop in. Go to G, go to Alex, then Unc. And then Trey.
And it's about like Candace being divisive, right?
Do you think it's justified? Yeah. We haven't heard your voice in a second, so I feel it's a good time to throw the G.
So I feel like Candace Owens isn't divisive. I feel like we are
justified her being divisive. My bad.
I don't think she's divisive. Okay. I just think we're divided. You see what I'm saying? Okay. And so what I feel like is just like the political left, we are divided, and she chooses to hit certain points that are just polarizing, and she goes to one side of the coin. Whereas when you're on the other, when you're on the left, you're just as divisive, if arguably, but you're just on another side of the coin, right? And so, in my opinion, I don't think she herself is divisive. These issues split us up as a community, and I think she just happens to take the stance on, one of the more polarizing sides of these arguments when you talk about some of these different points. I don't think she herself is the reason is divisive and is dividing us. We're just a little fucked up.
Alex, then
I think Candace Owens is divisive because I think that's what she has to be. Like this is completely separated from her like being in. Bro, where is that echo?
Now
it ain't me this time.
It's whoever's playing it in the background. If you're playing it in the background,
if you don't got headphones on, then or if you ain't muted. But yeah, like I think she has to be kind of like. I don't think she tries to be divisive. I think she has to be inflammatory because that's what gets her the views. That's what gets them the funding necessary to promote those platforms. Like the difference between right-wing media and left-wing media is a little bit more legacy. Well, liberal media is a little bit more legacy. Like that's why you got your MSNBCs and your CNNs. They get funded that way. Fox News, right-wing media, they get funded that way too. But the new age conservative media, like the Murdoch brothers and all them the Koch brothers and all that stuff, like they pay those people for reasons, and it's essentially to agitate, instigate, and it's essentially inflame conversations. As prominent as Candace Owens is on her platform, she talks a lot about like the sores that our community has, the flaws that our community has. But for as prominent as her platform is, I hardly have ever see her talking about actionable solutions or hey, this is what we should do. It's more so nanny boo boo, black people can't do this. So ultimately, I don't think we have this much deference for Charleston White. And honestly, on paper, what is
Charleston also?
But what is the difference between Charleston White and Candace Owens when you really look at how they operate, what they say, how they carry themselves? I think everybody kind of kikis and laughs at Charleston White because it's like, this dude's silly. But really, what is the difference? There is no difference. So
I guess just to play devil's advocate to your point, do you think that if I was to make the comparison with her and Charleston White, Charleston White intentionally says things that are inflammatory that he doesn't believe in, and that aren't founded always in truth. Do you think that she's always saying things that are inflammatory that's not founded in truth that she doesn't believe in?
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's going to be very hard to know anyone's true intentions. But for me as a person, for me as a man, I gotta teach my little son and my little daughter right from wrong. And teaching someone right from wrong, you have to show them like, hey, man, once you cross this line, you're definitely doing this, and once you cross this line, you're definitely doing that. And there's been plenty of interviews, plenty of times where Candace is talking, and it's like, all right, like there's no way she thought this all the way through to this logical conclusion. Like I saw a video the other day where we as the black community, we have to get over slavery. That was ages ago. Like, slavery again. Shut up. I'm tired of hearing this. But on the same note, a person of Southern heritage, hey, what's wrong with them celebrating their history? What's wrong with the Confederate flag? It's their history. So let me get this straight. You can celebrate your treacherous, traitorous ancestors who fought against this country and fly a flag, not even the right flag, the flag that was resurrected to pretty much antagonize black people. That's okay with Candace. But you as a black person trying to pick up the pieces and trying to figure out how we're going to clean up this mess, that's wrong. That's out of line. I don't know how you can be for the community and advocate for the community and want to build it up if you're not even trying to be solution oriented and you're mostly just pointing out flaws for it. But yeah, that's all I got, man.
I got you. Then Johnny.
Yo, I kind of find the whole thing funny myself because Candace Owens was just being Candace Owens. What did you expect more than what you saw from her? She was going to say what the people that was putting money into her bank account want her to say. She was doing what she was doing. Maybe he did look like a rock star. To be honest with you, I was waiting for the photo to come out because I was going to bootleg t-shirts, but he beat me to it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm for real. Because the thing is that she was doing what she was doing, and it wasn't, you know what I mean? It was just her being her. Why would you get upset for her being her? She was just being her. She get the money put in her pocket. She say what she's saying. Yes, some things, like I say, is things that black people need to hear. But it's her platform. It's her doing what she's doing. May it sound ignorant to some people? Yes. But it's Candace Owens being Candace Owens. Why are you upset with an ignorant person being ignorant? Why? If a dumb person do something dumb, you're not mad at him. Oh, that's what a dummy does. Candace Owens was just being Candace Owens. That's it. I'm mad at Trump more than I am with her because he beat me to my money. I was gonna bootleg them shirts and y'all was gonna buy them. Hold up now. Tell me you weren't gonna buy that shirt if you already bought one. I'm just saying.
I ain't got one.
Hey, M.
I'm done.
Was it M Black at the top?
No,
M red. Talk M red.
M red. Wow. Johnny had a point before you get
hold
there.
on. Yeah, let me.
But first, M red, was you gonna buy that shirt?
No, I'm saying I did bootleg him, but Etsy removed him.
Okay. Oh shit, I forgot about it. Yeah. Hey, shout out M red. M red does have. Is it Black is Gold?
Yeah, Black is Gold.
He does have a full website where he got the prints going. Ahead of game. Johnny,
I knew I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, nah, but nah, I think like I say, I had a little technical difficulties. I'm coming in on a little bit of the back end. I didn't see the whole meme, but I think it's something like, and I always say this about like the political spectrum, and I think you can like, it's okay to disagree. Like we don't have to agree with everything that we said, but as black people, we shouldn't villainize and vilify each other because we literally like all we got. And like, yeah, everybody gonna go out there and try to get their money. There's a whole bunch of rappers that rap about killing black folks, and they getting paid for it, and they exploiting their community, and and bad influences on the youth in their community, but they getting their money, and it's okay. But like one thing, like we take other we look at like the opposite side. One thing white supremacy hadn't let disunite it is the political spectrum. It's white supremacy on the left, it's white supremacy on the right. So us as black people, why can't we have black power on the left and black power on the right? Why can't it be people that want the best for the black people on the right and best for black people on the left? And like we of course we'll have disagreements, but if ultimately our ultimate goal is the betterment of black people, why does it matter like what political spectrum if we can just learn to work together? And I think that's kind of something we miss in these conversations, because of course she said some bullshit that I don't agree with. I was one of the first haters of Candace Owens, but once you listen to it and you be like, well, damn, that kind of makes sense. You gotta, if something has merit, I don't care if somebody was racist and they said 2 + 2 = 4. I'm not gonna disagree with them. Truth is truth. And I think that's something we miss a lot in today's society. So if somebody's speaking truth, we have to listen to them, and especially they speaking truth to power as far as black people. No matter whether we agree or not, we gotta listen to them.
So Troy, I guess I'll ask you this question. Do we actually allow a difference of opinion as black people?
I think we do more than anybody does, because white people don't allow Candace Owens. Again, look at what the Jewish people did.
I guess Johnny was saying how like white people allow Republicans and Democrats, liberal and conservative,
but they both get together and it's just like, who's gonna hold the whip against us? It's not like they're siding against white people. They're at the end of the day, they're gonna be on top.
But as far as black people, don't you think we have power on both political spectrums? Like as far as conservative and okay, all right, we accountability.
We have selected tools on both sides that don't really do anything for the people, whether it's the Congressional Black Caucus or Tim Scott. Neither one of them does anything to benefit us. I would argue that the Congressional Black Caucus does more to harm us, because like every other caucus is for their people, like the Asian caucus for Asian people, Spanish for Spanish, and so forth, and the Israeli caucus. But the Black caucus is for colored people, all black people, which, if I saw there was something recently where they had money set aside to help white businesses, and then they did money set aside to help Latino businesses. And then when they tried to help the black businesses, the whites and the Latino got together and sued. So it's like we had this thing where we allow differences of opinions and allow people to harm us, and then we just have this like slavish mentality we must have brought with us from the plantation, where we just go and do the heavy lifting. Like even with the Democrats, we vote the most for them, and they do the most for other groups, whether it's even smaller minorities like the rainbow community.
But I'm saying, but we hate, but there's a lot of disagreement with people on both sides of the. We don't like a lot of the stuff the Democrats are doing, and we don't like the black Democrats, and we don't like a lot of the stuff that the black conservatives are doing. So we get it. If you go to the extremes, we're not going to agree with the extremes, like the Candace Owens and the super liberal. We don't agree with none of that. So it's like, but there has to be like a center. Like we can focus on the extreme, the super 10 and the 10 to the left and the 10 to the right, but 80% of us are in the middle. And if we could just focus on that, especially like understanding like there's gonna be some black people that lean more conservative naturally, like from the way that we was raised and growing up in a church, the black Christian people, we should naturally be more conservative. There's a lot of people that were born that didn't grow up in the church. A lot of them are naturally more liberal. And
so, Trey, we're gonna continue the conversation. Go ahead, Trey.
Yeah. But I don't think that you're getting what I'm saying. I'm not saying that if you're liberal and you're not pro-black and you're conservative and you're not pro-black, I think the consensus needs to be that you need to be pro-black. And then when someone gets on a platform and they say things that are against your interests, I don't think that we should be as tolerant of that, especially when.
Do you think there's a consensus of what pro-black looks like?
I think if you're on code, there is, yes. And when you're on code,
what's that mean? On code, what's on code?
Well, for us, I think it starts at home. Like Candace is a foreigner. Like she's Caribbean. She speaks on the black experience, and she's like a first generation person over here. So
I mean that's not necessarily true. Her granddad's from North Carolina.
Got to it now.
So her granddad's from where?
From North Carolina. She was born in Connecticut. Hartford, Connecticut, and her granddaddy's from North Carolina. So I would like to know where the West Indian or
I think one of her parents is West Indian or something. Yeah.
I know she claims Caribbean, so I don't know what it is about that.
The majority of her autobiographies and biographies is stating how she was raised by her hardworking granddaddy, who married his high school sweetheart in North Carolina, and they raised him on a farm and all kind of stuff. So,
Okay.
It says she says my family is from St. Thomas and Tortola. So, I mean, I don't think she's not of our same lineage.
This sounds like this is getting into a foundational Black American conversation.
Man, at the end of the day, though, her grandfather was born in America, so she's not the first generation Black American in her family.
Okay, I'll have to confirm that because I've seen posts where she said that I am Caribbean, and I've seen many people say that she was Caribbean. Confirm that you're the first person I'm hearing saying that she's doesn't have an immigrant background. But I
just want to clarify. I'm saying I think somebody is from the islands, but that's like a great grandmother or something like that. Like it's not her mom. Like she's definitely born in the United States.
Oh, I'm not arguing that she's born in the United States or not. I'm just saying like her background.
She's not a descendant of slavery, pretty much, right?
Right. She's basically a foreigner to this culture, and you kind of find a lot of people who are foreigners to their culture pushing this criminal narrative. Like before, you said we love felons. Like I don't know. I think people think that just because like hip hop, which isn't controlled or primarily funded by Black people look at that and they think it's our culture. And then people look at the media, but look at everyone on this panel. Does anyone on this panel love felons? Are any of us listening to Sexy Red? Does anybody think that any of that's okay?
That Sexy Red is a
what's wrong with felons, though?
Like
I listen to Plies Bushes.
We grew up listening to Jeezy, but yet we can't listen to Sexy Red. Like, what are we talking about?
But do we want to be Jeezy though? We still look at
what are we talking about?
I do not want to be Young Jeezy.
That's what I'm saying. When you listen to Jeezy, you was like you thought you emulated the energy. You emulated the energy.
Bro,
you didn't want to rap over those beats like Jeezy. You didn't want to.
Rapping, I did not want to sell bricks though. I never had that.
Me neither. Like white people are primarily the main consumers of hip hop, and we think
half
that
y'all
just
niggas
because
in here was the college weed, man. Stop it.
Man, but that's not the same. There's a lot of white people selling weed too, but we have this internalized thing where Black people we're just like the face of criminality, even though we're the most of us are not like kingpins.
Now, I do agree with you, Trey, right here. Well, what I was saying with the whole Trump mugshot and the commentator who was like, "Oh, he's a felon," like niggas don't care about nobody being no felon, like.
Niggas. We're not all niggas, if that's what you want to say.
Niggas. I should say Black people don't care about nobody being no
But
felon.
no, Black people aren't over there worshiping felons, bro. Like when you go to a cookout and do your parents worship felons?
Shit, hey.
I mean, technically, like Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X are felons.
Step in the name of love.
This make it say
he's the biggest felon.
Yeah. R. Kelly definitely a felon. He got felonies, as a matter of fact. He got a couple of things.
Do you know the trial? I want him to have a fair trial, and I don't want them to only criminalize Black people that break laws. Do I think Black people should be punished? Yes, but I do get tired of Black people being the only ones that have to face consequences when everyone else gets free, and then Black people don't think it's okay. I'm not saying you should be able to get away with it. I'm saying make sure everyone gets punished, and that's not what we have these days.
Fair
and
enough.
Then look, we just like dance around. Oh, let's go with it, and like no one says anything about it. And I think that's off code behavior. Back to the earlier question.
So to again to move the conversation forward, this is To Be Fair show. So all conversations come with a meme. I got 2 memes for y'all. We'll react. This is gonna push it to conversation about Black conservative content creators in general.
Okay.
And if is it a grift or is it a needed perspective?
When I listened to Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, he said white supremacy is the biggest domestic threat to this country.
His name is John C. She got to be the dumbest woman on planet Earth. White supremacy? White supremacy? What are you even talking about? What are y'all even talking about? Is white supremacy the biggest threat in Chicago, in Baltimore, in Watts, in Missouri? Is white supremacy? Name me a white supremacist that have done a mass shooting in a black neighborhood. One. At tops, he killed 9 people. One guy. Brothers dropping like flies every day. In a black neighborhood, mowed down. Ain't no white people in sight. What is she's even talking? White supremacy, where? Where is it? You sitting on a show run by white people around a whole bunch of white people making $1.6 million a year. Where is the white supremacy? The president of the United States white, you ain't said nothing about him. Kamala Harris, she dumb, but she married to a white man. You ain't got no problem with that. Go down the list. AOC boyfriend white. Go down the list. Don Lemon on TV every day talking stupid. His boyfriend white. What are y'all? Who you vote for, Sonny? You probably voted for Biden. You voted for a white man. Who do you vote for in Trump? Hillary Clinton. You voted for a white woman. What is white supremacy doing in your life?
Hi, my name.
Whiteness is a cult, and they will always come to the defense of their cult members.
Right. White people are the ones who are wearing t-shirts about how proud they are about their race. White people are the ones rallying in the streets about their race. White people are the ones race-swapping characters even though it's completely historically inaccurate. White people are the ones getting their own categories on Uber Eats, Hulu, and Netflix. And of course it was in the name of white people that we got over $2 billion in damages here in the United States due to the riots that happened in 2020. Not to mention the 20-plus people who died in the mostly peaceful protests. All that, and when you're a white person who tries to talk about it and call them out and say that they're engaged in groupthink and suppressing skepticism, they tell you you're not a white person anymore. That lady's right. Whiteness is the cult.
I saw someone do a TikTok where
I don't like Amaka, but sometimes she be right.
All right, fellas, how y'all feel?
I mean, I think the thing about it is, it's like I think with the last video, I mean, but to be honest, both videos, it's like my ultimate thing is, you know, when someone's talking to you and you know when someone isn't talking to you. And I think the problem that I have with like a lot of like conservative, like I guess pundits, I don't know what to call them. It's they like nuance. They like a lot of nuance. Like it's like, for instance, like, why are we celebrating black-owned businesses? Like, you're a black conservative. You're all about black people and capitalism, but you're somehow like absconsed about. Wait, we talking about black businesses? Like, it's.
I don't think she's for black people though.
But like my whole thing is just like when you talk like that, and then you know like I think it's like people almost forget like we don't know what a dog whistle is. It's like we don't like you're saying something, but we know what you actually mean. And I don't know. I think stuff like that is. I don't think they would be having these same conversations if they were doing them in good faith around people who didn't agree with them. You know, like, hey, like, why are you saying that about Black Lives Matter? Like, it's kind of disingenuous. Like, no one's saying that nobody else's lives matters. It's why are we saying that? What context are we saying it in? And to misrepresent it to the extent that they do, it's kind of silly. To Brandon Tatum's point about, I think whenever anyone says that, I think they were reciting a FBI report saying that the number one domestic terrorism threat is white supremacy. I ain't really looking into that, but that's where it's coming from. So it's not that I think Sunny wasn't saying anything like out of like the ether that was just wrong. Maybe he disagrees with it, but like that is a thing. That's a thing that's been confirmed by non-black people. Like this is government entities saying like, hey, the number one domestic terrorism threat in this country is white supremacy. And I think that clip came out around when like the whole Charlottesville thing happened. So yeah, like if you in the national context of people protesting and then someone getting ran over by a car, it's not unfathomable to understand why it happens. And my problem is, why do we have these conversations with people who are supposed free thinkers, and they always fail to kind of have these nuanced conversations and invite people to have these nuanced conversations, you know? But that's just my opinion on it, to be fair.
I like what he did there.
Can I go
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of agree a lot with what he said on this one. It's like it's hard when you are a black conservative and you say, you know, content creator. For me, it's hard to kind of distinguish like what is like genuine output and what am I doing for shock value and for views.
For
Like
the
if
algorithm.
this my niche right now is to go against the grain, and my last one got 100,000 views, I'm gonna keep going down this route. White supremacy for me, like I like changing the language because I don't really believe in white supremacy anymore. I believe in white inferiority complex, and I believe that is what's causing them to create these systematic things that keep a lot of people oppressed. You know, is they feel inferior, and they are a race that kind of lives in fear that has allowed them to kind of create different avenues to keep them in power. So I also am not, giving it credence and like using it as something that like, oh, I can't do nothing because white people are supreme. Like they're not supreme to shit to me, but they have established things in this country and abroad that allow them to keep a certain level of power, and that you can't deny. But I'm also not about to go and create content around dismissing white supremacy, or dismissing like they're not doing anything wrong at all. Like I wouldn't want to be that person, but like I know the addiction that comes with creating content just as a content creator, and like I'm winning with this, so I'm going to keep going down this lane. Now it's getting monetized. I'm going to keep going down this lane. Nobody else is doing this. Well, whatever. I'll take the jabs. I'm going to keep going down this lane. So for me, it's real murky to see like who's a genuine black conservative out here for shock value. So
yeah, it's a lucrative niche.
Yeah.
All right. Can I say something for a second?
Go ahead.
All right. We can speak on being a black conservative or black this or that, whatever, but sometimes us always putting black in front of things kind of hinder us from what we're going to. Because see, yes, it's black, it's so and so far as in the race relation, but at the same point, why is it that we always have to put our color or our nationality in front of it? Now, all of us on here may be conservatives, right?
No.
But does that make us any different from anybody else that's part of a conservative if you were, say, you were Asian conservative or whatever? No, it really doesn't, but it does, because you can say, yo, I'm black conservative. We just want things to be better. We want things to be good. We want great things to come out of every outcome. Yes, we want things for our people, but we need to stop just saying that we want things just for our people. Because it's not about just our people. And we do not live in a world that is just our people. We never live in a community that is just our people. It might be a community that you say is a black community, but no, if you go around the corner, it's Hispanics around there. There are Asians around there. There are so many different people around there. But it's us that it might be the majority that's there. But we have to control our community. We have to control our community as in a stand together. Okay, go ahead, Johnny. I got you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Johnny.
No. I just want to ask you a question, because like when you said like, well, I just want to respond first about like why do we put black in front of everything? The reason we put black in front of everything is because like we've been living in this. We don't have sovereignty, so the black is our sovereignty. Like that's what separates our struggle, our unique struggle, which we'll all agree is unique than everybody else's. Any other minority, the black struggle is unique. Putting that on it separates it, and I think that's important when we talking about struggle. So I think that's why we put the black on everything. When it comes to like what you were saying, as far as like why do we being stuck, you know, like that.
I want to rebuttal after you finish, please.
No, you got it. You got it. I'll let you keep on going. I'm still trying to gather my thoughts. I just wanted to say that first piece as far as like the reason we say black is because we
All
don't
right.
have our sovereignty. And it's like in this country, that's the only thing that separates, our struggle from anybody else's is putting that black because it's something that the people in Africa haven't gone through, the black struggle, because the black is unique to being like black and American. And I think, I think our struggle is very important to like you say it's just not our struggle, but don't you think like we deserve to be looked at based on, what's been done only to us.
And
And it
hey,
hadn't been done to everybody else.
let's go to Unc and then go to
Okay.
Alex.
Oh,
Yes, yeah, you can
okay.
answer.
So I don't can I answer?
Yeah, I said we're going to you first, then Alex.
The problem is that we sit too much and think too much on things that just happen to us. Sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes. And with me saying that is this right here. Yes, our struggle is completely different. And as you spoke about the Africans don't accept us. And we need to also realize that majority of us are natives here. We're way beyond before Columbus got here
We
and
got a fire
everything. We
episode
were
coming
here.
up.
We were here. So with us having our stance here, we need to accept who we are as a
Preach
people
on.
because see, we are natives. We are natives of this land. This is our land. We do not look like them. We do not act like them. We do not conduct ourselves as they do. But yet we accept anybody that has a skin tone of yours or as ours as being us. No, we are who we are. Why we can't accept who we are? Why we can't, please? Why is it not that we cannot please accept who we are, for who we are, and where we came from? Let us just grow from our pain. Because yes, they say it was slave owners that would look like us to this, but yes, it was slave owners that owned the slaves that came off of them ships. And plenty of them ships didn't even happen. It was people, it was just slaves of slaves. You understand what I'm
What are we
saying?
even talking
They
about?
made, excuse me?
You lost me when you say Africa.
Excuse me?
Yeah, well, where
I
are
think- all right,
we?
So,
It goes
all right,
deep.
so hold on.
Hey, let him live, Unc. Let him live, Unc.
I'm gonna hop in. And
Hold
I
up.
think that,
Who is that? Who is that? Is that your nappy head with the plaid shirt on that said this?
hey,
Let him
Nappy head
live,
with the
Unc.
plaid shirt
hey,
on.
Unc, you don't,
fellas,
you don't want these
I'm
problems,
just
Unc.
saying.
Hey,
Unc, you don't want these
fellas,
problems, Unc.
I don't think
You don't
anybody
want
want
these
any
problems.
problems, and we gonna be all right on the panel. So again,
I don't want these problems.
No,
I
you
do not
don't.
want
let,
these
let, let
problems.
me
But you
let me
don't
go ahead
either.
and start muting mics real quick, just to make sure that we kind of get
Unc,
through.
I promise. You don't want these problems.
What
We are brothers.
All right, so really quickly, again, we want to make sure that we abstain from the ad hominems. I know that
Let me name call it.
we were kind of at a division in the road in general because we got into the ADOS FBA the Pan African FBA conversation by accident, and I seen one of those like old '90s roots from Trey over there. I seen my boy A Black in the corner say what's going on,
Yeah.
and I actually think that Alex and M Red is probably brothers in arm in that, and Unc and Trey is probably brothers in arm in that. And this is why I said, as the conversation was going, that more than likely we're gonna have a fire conversation next week when we kind of unpack the whole African and Black divide. But again, I'm gonna unmute both of y'all in a second. But let's stray away from ad hominems. Let's stray away from ad hominems. Like I don't like. Come on, guys.
Oh
That's my
god,
new
nigga, I
favorite
got
word,
real
bro.
tears coming
That's
out my
my new
eyes, man.
favorite word, bro.
So before we go to Alex, just to make sure that like we get to where we need to go to. I'm gonna start with with M Red at the top, and yeah. So M Red, what's your take? I'm gonna unmute both of y'all though.
What's the question again? I'm sorry.
Well, actually, I think that I was just more interested in answering where he was at.
Oh
But
yeah, I mean, like,
but the question, I don't know.
I was
I think we've kind of like devolved into where we at.
Yeah, when you say that things like Africans don't accept us, and you speaking for an entire continent, it's like, for me, it's like, I don't want to be that person, but you might not have been to Africa, when you start saying things like that. But
we don't. No, but we don't want to go to Africa though, bro. I don't. People always say that, like, nobody's really trying to go to Africa. I mean, some people are, but like the average black person ain't really trying to.
No disrespect, but I speak to Africans on a daily basis, and I speak to them, and I talk to them the same way I'm speaking to you all. I speak to them about their flaws and everything that goes on with them in their politics and everything else. And what I'm speaking is correct. What I'm saying is this right here. They have a world that exists the way their world exists. The things that they do, and most of their countries are baby countries because they're under 100 years old or whatever. And the things that goes on with them is them trying to make things happen because they're coming up under the regime of the Europeans that released their nations to them. So with them releasing them to them right now, we sit down and I might say things about the way things that goes on with them, but they are going through things. They're going through growth. And with their growth is the pain comes with it. And the pain is that they do not accept. And they accept and they do not accept. They don't accept the fact that, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of things that goes on that happened that far as in it's like they look at us as we're inferior to them because we're not part of tribes and things of that nature. We're not sitting around here and the things that we do. They only know what they know from us through the media that comes through European media. When they get over here, they look down on us. And when they look down on us, it's not their fault. It's the fault of the media that they get. And it's also our fault because it's the way that we as black men do not accept the fact that we need to control niggas. And nigga is not just no. Let me finish. Give me just one more minute. Give me one more minute.
We got about a minute left on Unc, and then I'm gonna go to you, Alex.
All right. What I'm speaking with nigga is not black people. Nigga is a culture of America. Nigga is an American culture. Yeah, same way we took the word nigga, so and so, whatever, no matter what culture, race, or whatever you go through, guess what you're gonna find? A nigga. White people have niggas in the trailer park. Oh my God. Hispanics have niggas in the barrio. Italians have niggas in the cities or whatever, and whatever you do, nigga is a breed of American. Nigga, it's the American nigga. That's why you sit around and have the American nigga. It's not nigger. It's not nigga. It's nigga. Nigga is the part of that is the American nigga. And that's what they see with us, the American nigga. And they look at us as we part of it. Stupid shit. And it happens like that.
All right, okay, all right.
I ain't GA or ER. Don't call me none of that.
All right, so how about this? I think that this is probably good. And Alex, I'm still about to throw to you. If I can have this panel on next week, I think that yeah, pause. My bad, no diddy. I think that's what the kids say now.
Yeah.
But no, I think that the heart of where Unc is at is like a good space. It's the resentment of the black person in America and the resentment that they hear and see from the African as well. And whether there is justified or unjustified resentment, the idea that there is a tension that exists there it is real. I will throw to Alex and then A Black really quickly because again, I want to save most of this conversation for next week. We already have the Pan African versus ADOS or FBA conversation lined up, and we're kind of like tiptoeing it. Well, we're not tiptoeing it. We're diving in the bitch right now. But
got one line on it. That's
yeah, I think that I still want to make sure it's fair. So Alex, I'm gonna throw to you. A Black, I'm gonna throw to you. Then we're gonna hop back on the Candace train really quickly. All right, Alex.
I mean, it was kind of hard to follow. But the respected older gentleman of the Black delegation was saying, but like, I think I can't speak for everybody. I am of West Indian heritage. My mom is from Jamaica. My dad's from St. Thomas. My grandma is from Antigua, and my grandpa's from Cuba. I am pretty much as West Indian as you get. But at the same time, I grew up in South Carolina. I grew up in Columbia. Like, I really don't understand where the resentment's coming from, because unless I tell people anything, nobody knows. Like, I don't understand like where the resentment comes from with Africans, because like honestly, man, I think it's just as diverse as of people as it is with ADOS people. Like ADOS people, I don't think you guys are a monolith. I don't think that everybody within the ADOS pretty much heritage, I don't think that y'all all think the same. I don't think that all y'all like, no, I hate this and I like that. And no one does that. So I it's kind of insulting that and kind of dehumanizing how when it's suitable, how one-dimensional we become. For honestly, this really didn't start until the whole reparation talk back in like I think the Trump, Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton election cycle. When all that happened, all of a sudden that's like when this big divide came, and I'm like, bro, like I'm all of a sudden like a enemy within the Black community because
nobody thinks you're an enemy, bro.
You ain't getting no reparations though, Trey.
Yeah, that's as long as you're okay with, as long as you're not fighting to get
against reparations.
But
like that's the thing. But that's the thing. But that's the thing.
You're the enemy, but that doesn't not just because you're an immigrant.
Like, bro, listen to what you're saying. Like this is a very straw man conversation because nobody, absolutely nobody is like, yeah, I want a piece of the cut. No.
Candace Owens says we don't deserve it, and she don't even qualify.
But there you go again, bro. Like there you go again with this one-dimensional take. Like, do you think that me and this whole panel?
Of course not, bro. I'm saying that's kind of a straw man argument you're making. No one's saying all Black immigrants. Even Tariq Nasheed says, and he's the main one they always talk about, says that there are plenty of riders across the diaspora, but they don't have a mechanism. We call out Samboism in the Black community. We don't really see that go down as much over there. So when they don't call out, like I'm saying, we have a long history of. We came up with the term.
So let me get this straight.
Coon.
So and I want to jump in here too.
Like we got, what is y'all's name for sellouts? Y'all don't even have one.
Hey, so let's go 30 seconds, kind of wrapping this part out. We're gonna go to Black and then G and G up the top.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like it's like who, bro? Like whoever's got all the noise going on in the background.
Yeah, everybody mute.
What I'm ultimately saying is, I think these conversations need to be had, and I think they need to be had with a place of nuance. And I hate starting these conversations off like, "Oh, want some reparations?" If anything, bro, like my wife is ADOS. What sense does that even make? Like, I don't think y'all hear.
What's ADOS? What that mean? I'm sorry.
American descendant.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
American descendant of slavery. And I don't even like that thing. I think there's foundational Black Americans. Because like,
bro, you're finding is nobody thinks that y'all are all
hold up
reparations.
Bro. Please,
just you know,
gotta stop saying.
Hold on, wait, Red M at the top.
A Black, yeah. All right, so I just want to say, man, because I know we're going to go deeper into this conversation. And I hope we can actually get some actual Africans on that. That would be dope. But
and again, you kind of plugged in, so let me know.
Yeah, so it's ignorance on both sides, man. So I'm not going to deny the older gentleman's experience of the Africans he's spoken to. Now, like one thing I would recommend or hope for all of us is that we can go and experience things for ourselves and meet people for ourselves, and it might change your perspective on it. But there's ignorant Africans, there's ignorant Black people. There's Africans that do look down on Black people. There's Africans that are just as woke as us and that know and don't and accept us fully. There are Black people who look down on Africans that think they live in trees and mud huts and they don't have any type of civilized land. There are Black Americans that know that you got some of the richest resources and places and beautiful women and advanced cities and technologies and some of the smartest and highest IQs in Africa as well. So they both are suffering from the same thing: lack of knowledge, media manipulation, and programming. And until you go or until you have conversations with people, it's hard to make these generalizations about an entire continent.
Nobody's doing that, bro. Nobody's making.
Hold on, Emerald. Let me just give Emerald. Give me 20 seconds. 20 seconds, Emerald. 20 seconds. Hold. I speak to them daily. First of all, and second of all, is this right here. What I'm speaking about, I speak to generations that's younger than you guys are. I'm not speaking to people my age. I'm not speaking to people your age. I'm speaking to people from the age of 18 to 30. And I'm assuming that everyone on here is over the age of 30. Now, what I'm saying is that it's an infrastructure fluctuation that goes on wrong with them. And things that from there is from their pain and the things like that. That's it. That's all I'm speaking of. I'm not talking about anything else. There you go. And I might be wrong since I'm the older gentleman.
You said what? How? Which part is not is an ad hominem?
Like it's pretty much saying like a whole entire group of people is like
nobody's saying a whole group, man. We're talking about Candace.
So again, all right, my bad. Let's go to G at the top. Again, I know that this is going to be a
Congo, which is
hold on. Hey, hold on.
Is having something very
all right.
Yeah. So again, I know that this is going to be like next week. The main thing that I've realized is that we probably gonna have to make sure that it's really, really structured because we all feel a way about it, and I think that that's fire because it's gonna make for a really fire conversation. But let's go to G at the top really quickly, and then we're gonna get back to the Candace because again, this is obviously a hot button topic. Again, I didn't know it, but I enjoy the fact that like we're having a conversation at the moment. And it's going to breed for more conversation and hopefully more understanding. And I'm going to intentionally make sure I make a push to try and get a Black Unc. Both of y'all seem like y'all speak with Africans daily. And I would love to get some of them on the panel just to be able to hear and express their opinion. But G.
I think like for me, my actual closest friends growing up were first generation Ethiopian and Kenyan. Right. So like, is it true that the culture of the household looked at me as a Black American a little bit different for certain reasons? It's unquestionable in both households. And both of them will admit that culturally speaking, like their parents would prefer they marry, say, the Ethiopian family wants their son to marry another Ethiopian young lady.
We all Black though, my bad.
But I'm just saying, like, to say just from my actual experiences, I know that culturally speaking, like if you're Nigerian, oftentimes they want their kids to marry another Nigerian, for example. So I don't think that's uncommon, nor do I think it's unfair. That said, I feel like as a what do we call it, FBA or whatever, I think I'm hearing a crazy echo too. It's really messing with my brain. When we talk about the institution of America, it has a certain history that is undeniable. It's written in stone, right? And there are debts that are owed that have yet to been paid. And so I'm a believer that the institution of America should be held accountable to pay these debts in some form or fashion. When it comes to who is actually owed these debts and entitled to what that might look like, I think this is where the conversation of foundational Black American versus where do you descend from become the conversation, because the reality is that when you are not a foundational Black American, you share multiple cultures. Like, whereas if it's like me, for example, it's a Black culture. And I can say, like, I had a friend who literally got jammed up in a situation, and instead of going to court, he went home. Okay. And I say that, like, but if a nigga on this call right here get jammed up, you can't, they can't, Diddy can't even get out this motherfucker. They going to get him. So what I'm saying is that, like, there is a difference. And I think when you're not a foundational Black American, you have a privilege, arguably, of jumping in and out of being Black. And then, oh, okay, I'm Black, but then I'm Nigerian. Oh, I'm Black, but then I'm Jamaican. Oh, I'm Black, but then I'm something else too. You get to be kind of both. Whereas when you are just a nigga like this right here, you from Durham, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying?
Not to cut you off, but like, what's the difference between
30 seconds on it though, Alex.
Yeah, what's it like? I hear what you're saying, but like in the context of a conversation, like what do you and a Black man from like Compton, California have in common? If you were over there, like, hey, bro, I'm not from Compton, I'm from North Carolina. It's like, to me, there is no difference. Like, it's all different regions where Black people live. Like, you could be from up north, from New York, from the DMV. You can be from St. Lucia. You can be from Angola. Like, we're all doing the same thing. I don't think we're doing anything that's different. And like, I hear what you're saying, but like, I think we all have anecdotes. Like, growing up, my nickname in middle school and elementary school was Jumanji. Why? Because I was a little new kid with the accent. I was all kind of African booty scratches, like, bro. And I don't hold that against all Black people or anybody who looks like me. But like, that's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
If we're going off of anecdotes, bro, like, I think we all like we did like each other dirty. But I'm saying we old enough and we can grow from there. We can build together. That's all I'm saying.
No, for sure. And
I don't disagree.
We all can build from it, but the thing is this right here. It's the same thing far as in when you sit and you listen to what you just said. What you just said made 100% truth on everything. But we have to look at far as in, like, you see, people look at us from a skin color versus people look at others as in identifying them from where they're from. Now, you being a African man, or I don't know if that's where you're from where you're from, Caribbean, part of that, from that continent. That's where you're from. But they look at a brown-skinned man and say that he's an African man because he's from Tonga. They're going to consider a Tonga man the same thing as they consider a man from Compton because they don't know the difference. That's the problem with it. The problem is it that they look at skin tone. Because if you look at skin tone, now look at this. Indians, not the real Indians from India. You find that burnt skin men that are way blacker than any African that's out there. You say purple black, no, they're black. You say purple black, they're black. But they won't consider them that because of their features and things of this and that nature. Those are the only people of color that are decided differently because of their hair texture and the way they look. But anybody else that has a brown skin or dark tone, they consider all of us as being who we are. I'm not saying that you're wrong what you're saying, but yes, it is what it is.
Hey, so all right, so
no.
So hey, we got to put a button on this one. And again, we gonna revisit this next week. But what I'll say is we got one last to kind of wrap it up. The goal before these always be 2 hours, but the conversation always lends itself to be the long form that it is. I got a meme, and then I have a question. Well, I'll ask the question first, and then I'll let y'all react to the meme. The question is black conservatism and the Republican push actually going to benefit the black community? Or is it pretty much just playing devil's advocate to our current state?
Can I just jump in? I don't think it's
Wait,
gonna. Oh, my bad.
Set some rank theory.
It's a broken society, and hip hop is hurting things. But I also want to talk to you about something I've realized.
All right. So before I guess we all dive in, I guess the first thing I'll say is we're probably gonna try and put a hard stop at the next 20 minutes, in which react, fellas.
Yo, I don't think this quote unquote conservative push is the answer to Black America's problems in any sort of way. I don't see this as a resolution. I see it as more of a reaction to the virus, and it's just how people are reacting to the disease. Ultimately, me personally, I feel like the resolution is something, way more extreme that just hasn't existed in our lifetime. And that would require something that doesn't exist, like a new party, a new approach, just something new that we haven't really seen form yet, in my opinion. But I don't think the answer, if Black people show up in crazy numbers and vote conservative or vote Republican, I don't see that having any impact versus if they just show up and vote liberal. I don't really see either one of those impacting the Black community.
Trey, is Black conservatism and the Republican push actually going to benefit the Black community?
I don't really know if there's really much of a conservative push, but I don't even know if it's.
Okay.
I don't even know if it takes much of a. I think people are like Trump, but I don't think Trump is like your Lindsey Graham or your Ron DeSantis or a lot of your typical Republicans. I think he even said one time he used to be a Democrat first off, and then he said that he picked the Republicans because they were the easiest to manipulate or something along those lines. So, and a lot of his values aren't, because real hardcore Republicans aren't as bad about closing the border because they're into corporations and they benefit from the cheap labor. So Trump is, I think he's on that party, but I don't know if he represents the values as much. I think Black people are just like disgruntled with the Democratic Party. So a lot of people are just saying they don't want to vote more than
so you think
they want to vote
more
for
Black
Trump.
people are MAGA than they are Republican?
I don't think they're MAGA at all. I think they're just not. They're tired of the Democrats.
Yeah.
And then
my bad.
Trump,
I thought you were saying that they was like fucking with Trump. So that was okay. Good.
Right. And then if Trump is willing to do things that benefit them, like close the border, which that benefits the Black community because a lot of them are being placed directly into majority Black inner city neighborhoods. And if he's willing to do things like quit spending overseas, which a lot of the money that they're spending over there could help the community here. I think, and if he's also not a big fan of like the drag queen story times and all the things like over the top stuff that way, then I think they'll vote. That is in Black people's. I think Black people are voting their interests, not necessarily for a party, and I think that will help because basically, instead of picking a party, we're asking, what are you going to do for us and how do we benefit? And it's more of a quid pro quo versus like a religion where we just, vote because, our parents told us to, and then somebody died for us the right to be a Democrat. And for that last clip, I want to throw in that light-skinned lady she's also African, I think maybe Nigerian. So far as the people we posted up today, the Black conservatives that are out there speaking bad on Black people, majority of them don't share my lineage. They're foreigners. And I also want to say,
like Brandon Tatum.
And I think the easiest, and people say
Jason
that's
Whitlock.
brave. I think Jason Whitlock, he's old.
And
we have
there's a
no, we do have I think the civil rights generation
I love
is known for a lot of stuff like that.
Down every time.
Hey, just real quick, I think the easiest way to make a bag is to talk bad on Black people for white people. They love to see a Black person talk about how slavery wasn't that bad. So if you want to make a quick buck, do that. I don't know if that's brave because you have a different opinion. I think you're just a grifter at the expense of your people. So
we haven't heard from you in a while, Johnny. Is Black conservatism and the Republican push actually going to benefit the Black community?
I believe so, because like I think say it's a little technical difficult, but if like black people have been voting Democrat, like I was talking to somebody at work about this. I'll give a little context to my answer. Like we saw the state of the black community pre-integration and the state of the black community post-integration. And it's like if we've been voting for this one party for this whole time ever since, and we've seen like the degradation of our communities. We've seen the black power that we've had and the strong black communities we had, and then we've seen how they've been, degraded in the years since. Like, but we've only voted one way in that whole time. And it's like if we vote another way, we kind of force something to be done because we've been begging for something to be done and switching power. And Alex, you shaking your head, but and it might not happen immediately. But when you talk about if you talk about long term, if you talk about 4 years from now, 8 years, 12 years from now, if you're talking election cycles, if the Democrats lose the black vote, somebody gonna have to do something. They ain't just gonna let it ride. If we go vote, somebody gonna have to do something to get it back. If they just lose it,
they go ship in Mexicans, and they'll use them.
If we keep voting for them, if we don't vote, if Trump gets in office, that's our only hope. Because if the Democrat gets in office and they give all them amnesty, then we have
we
no
ain't
more
letting them
political
in.
power.
Forget the Mexicans.
You have to vote for those that does things positive towards you and your lifestyle and everything else.
Right.
That's it. It has nothing to do with anything else. I'm sorry to break.
Oh no, you're good. Go ahead, Alex. You seen that you had it looked like you had some contention with what Johnny was saying.
I think ultimately, what we all are missing is the Hegelian dialect where those who are in power, they only give you two options. Hey, you can vote for blue team or you can vote for red team. And what I see personally is a lot of the times, like when folks go conservative or they go vote for Republicans, a lot of times they're not even asking for anything. They're more so shifting morph into whatever the conservative party wants, and I see them adopt talking points, not necessarily going to the table like, hey, I want this and I want that. It's like, oh, what y'all doing over there? Wearing red hats and driving pickup trucks? Sign me up, buddy.
That's cat, bro. You party not.
Yeah. Listen to what I'm saying. What we ultimately need.
Everybody listen to what you're saying, but you never say anything that has any content behind it.
I literally have to sit here and listen to you talk about.
But I just told you specific reasons.
Let me
and you said there's no specific reason.
Trey, I'll let you cook though.
But I just told you specific reasons, and you said like,
let Alex
finish.
I can't even warm up my ramen noodles.
But I just told you specific
let the water boil.
and you told me I didn't.
I can't even warm up my jollof rice. Come on, man.
All right,
hey, listen. Hey, it's funny. Trey, you and
my
Alex,
bad.
y'all was just like y'all were bonding over Candace
I don't know
Owens
where the
earlier.
divide came.
Yeah, but go ahead, Alex. Go ahead.
I love you, bro. Look. Nappy Dread, I love you, bro. Bro, we talk, but we got to do what we doing. But put some content behind it, for real.
Right,
put some substance behind it.
Go ahead, Alex.
Put some lard on that ass. That's all I'm saying.
All right, okay, I got it. Listen. Here's what the problem is. We only have two options. And I don't think the problem, like, I hear what y'all saying, like we've been voting the same way for years. No, we haven't. During Reconstruction, the majority of the black people in office were Republicans.
100 years ago.
No, not 100 years ago. You guys said something like this is how we've been voting. Like there's been a slow
Reconstruction was 100 years ago.
Hey, hold on, let him get his full point out. Let him get his full point.
Come on, Trey.
I was talking post-integration though.
But
okay.
let him get. All right, so Alex, you got the full 2-minute ISO right now. I'm about to push click on the timer. Then when I wave my hand, know that it's.
I don't even need that long. Listen to what I'm saying. We need more than two options. Voting Democrat and Republican isn't going to fix anything because that is not enough representation. That is the ultimate problem. Trey has a different opinion than me. Johnny has a different. All of us have different opinions. Why is it that we as the citizens have to conform to whatever the parties want to offer us. It shouldn't be that way. It should be the opposite way. It should be kind of like how the Canadians run their parliament. You vote, hey, this congressional block, no, this congressional district had this many people go for this party, that party, that party, and that's where your representation will be. We can do like, I don't know, like a ranked choice system. We can do a parliamentary system. We can introduce something, but what we have now is not going to serve the representation. It's such a lack of representation that we have to conform to the two parties. We need more than that. We need, like every other well-developed country has representation for the constituents. We don't. But that's all I got.
How do we do that though?
Exactly.
Real quick, let's go to
That's what I
A
was
Black.
gonna say.
I haven't heard A Black. Then we'll get to the Johnny and Trey rebuttal.
Yeah, I just want to go back to the original question. I mean, like,
you want me to read it off, or you got it?
No, I got it.
Okay.
Like Alex was saying, we definitely need more representation. I kind of agree a little bit with everybody. Like, I don't know if it's a real big benefit, this conservative push. Like, I think like I think Trey was saying, it's definitely more reactionary of like a lot of people just kind of tired of what's been going on and nothing coming from it. So it's like, well, why not? What can hurt if we try this way type? It's not really based in policy or really based in a real ideology. It's just like, we tired of y'all finessing us. We tired of y'all pandering to us. We tired of y'all saying y'all gonna do something, y'all not doing it. We definitely need more than two choices. Like, I mean, I think everybody knows that, but we only got these two choices. So I think you see the good side of this conservative push or reactionary to it is the thought that's formulated from it. Like, even this conversation we're having, different opinion. We had this conversation 10 years ago, we'd all be Democrat for the most part. We'd all be Obama or Bill Clinton for the most part. You very, very rarely 10, 15 years ago saw Black Republicans. It's very taboo. Now people are way more open to alternative forms of thought, and I think that is the good part. And I think right now it's being processed, it's being are learning more, discovering themselves. I think as we grow older as men, you realize, like, maybe I am more conservative. Maybe I care more about taxes and where my money is going and who's going to do this for me. And I'm buying homes, and you're doing more things that might make you lean more to the Republican side that seems to have more fiscal responsibility versus like Democratic side that's just more emotional sometimes, or more like, we like them, but what are they doing for us? You had Joe Biden talking about forgiving loans his whole campaign.
He ain't did it for Black folk.
He ain't really did that, but
I'm waiting for the HBCU student loan forgiveness. I'm just waiting.
Yeah, so it's like, people are tired, and I think it's like Black people should be free to choose and not being condemned. Like, oh, you a Trump supporter, or you Republican, or you like let people choose. Like, let us not be monolithic in thought, and let the thought keep evolving and keep processing until we do one day get our own representation or create our own representation from it.
Can I get last, please?
Yeah, I got you, Lasden. So
I'm
about to throw to Johnny, and I'd say that a good like inference to like this just general conversation would be intersection points and like things that you're parallel with, and at that same stop that you end up seeing a bunch of those same things, in which the funny and interesting thing is that I think probably 85% of issues the panel probably agrees with in general. That last 15% is where like you end up getting a lot of the intersection and not the parallel. And I think it's fire that we're able to actually sit here and discuss the intersections inside like really well thought out form. Johnny.
Yeah, excuse me. But now what I'm gonna say, because I'm feeling what A Black was up. Like you say, 85% of what anybody up here saying, I'm messing with, because we all want the same thing. But it's like, and like me, I'm gonna put that as a disclaimer. I'm not conservative. I'm not liberal. I'm I'm an independent. So
you was
whichever
just
way.
telling me that we need multiple parties. So go ahead and tell them how you agree.
Well, no, I'm, I've been saying this to Trey about for me. I've been speaking through third party for 10 years almost, for years, and been talking about the electoral college and how the system is messed up. But if we know the system is messed up and we know what the system wants us to do, we have an election in it's the third in 8 months. The quickest way to make a change, because we ain't gonna be able to create a third party in 8 months. The quickest way to create a change is to do what the system doesn't want us to do. And I'll say this, either sit out the vote or vote, I like Kennedy, independent. I like what Kennedy doing. And he ain't perfect, but compared to the other two, I like what he doing. And so the biggest thing we can do is take our vote away from the Democratic Party. I ain't saying giving it to the Republicans, but I'm saying take it away. And that's the power that we have. Literally 8 months from now, we had the power to do that and create another party. We might need 8 years to do that, but what we can do in November, we could take that. We can snatch that power away from the Democrats, and that's my only thing with when I'm talking about conservative values. It's we actually have an opportunity coming up.
All right, Unc. I think that you are maybe the only registered Republican on the panel. Give us your thoughts on it.
Now, first of all, what we talking about with everything far as in us changing things and people wanting change and all this, you have to sit and listen to what everyone is saying. Everyone wants the same thing, but we want things different ways. But we still want the same thing. Now, with all of us wanting the same thing, we're sitting here and we're talking about it. We have to resolve it. How can we resolve it? We can resolve it by one way. And the way is by love. Love. Love of loving where you're at, where you're sitting at, where you're getting from, what you're going to do, and where you're putting your love at. We have to also understand that I said earlier about our agenda towards blacks, just blacks. Yeah, but a lot of times with the blacks, you have to have love.
Empathy.
Grace. That's grace.
It's infrastructure. Infrastructure in your neighborhood. How do you get infrastructure from your neighborhood? You get infrastructure from your neighborhood from you knowing about what's going on around your area. Now, with that also, Johnny, I love you. You nephew, I love you to death. But we can't sit out of votes because we have to vote. We have to vote. And what we have to do is start our votes little, which means our community voting. Now, with our community voting, we start from here. We know who our city council people are. We know who the mayor of our town is. If you sit in an area that have things as far as in people that have to delegate anything, we have to have all that sitting there. We have to sit there and delegate all that from us. Now, me being a Republican, and I know I have been called for the last 30 years the poorest Republican you have ever known in your life. And that's come from everybody I love, the people that just sit around. Why is
You
it
ain't been
that
to
me being a
Chesterfield,
black man
it's some
is getting...
poor whites.
No, listen what I'm saying to you. Why is it that I'm called a poor Republican? Because of the color of my skin. Why is it that it's only us that call a person that if you feel a certain way, like I told people, I have friends that were Democrats during when we were younger, but now they're Republicans. Why? Because it's a different mindset. Far as in me, Democrats always wanted us to be poor so they had somebody to vote for them. Now, You voted for. Okay. I'm done. Tail put his hand up. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's the 30-second countdown. My bad. You wasn't here for the pre-show, but I'm gonna throw to Alex. Alex, how you feel?
You like about the original question?
Yeah. And if you have commentary on others, we're kind of building.
I guess to kind of, I guess to answer the question that was previously posed to me, like how do we do it? It's all up to states' rights. Like if states want to do it, is that going to happen? Honestly, no. But I think I have the perspective of I think you should participate as much as you can. But ultimately, man, like it's really just going like for the change that we want to, I guess, get out of voting and participating in the democratic process. I honestly think that it'll probably be better served if we just focus in on our immediate families and then try to branch out from there. I remember like back, like I used to be really heavy into politics, and the older I got, I didn't become more conservative. I just became more concerned about my family. Like I can't control what the whole world is doing. Like I'll go vote. My vote goes to the electoral college, and then it goes up into like some imaginary decision. But what I find works best for me is focusing on my career, being a good father to my kids, being a good husband, and trying to change the world from the investments I can put into the people that are under my roof. And honestly, I know that's not going to make a big difference, but to me, in the long run, it makes even more of a difference than what any of my votes could possibly do. And that's something that I learned from my dad. Like my dad has always been saying this, like, hey, don't even worry about the election. Like you just worry about them people under that roof. Because at the end of the day, if I teach my son how to be a good man, teach my daughter how to be a nice young lady, half of the problems we have in the Black community, I don't think they're going to disappear overnight. But like, I think it's actually going to have more impact than Joe Biden signing a piece of paper or Donald Trump.
I'm sorry. You what you're saying right now, I apologize.
Hold on.
Please.
Hold on. What I'm ultimately saying is if we're going off of what's going to make the profoundest difference, I think my son, my daughter, my wife being a good person and then having an impact on their community, like, hey, somebody needed a ride. Someone needed to watch somebody's kids the other day. Someone needed to know, like, hey, where's a good place I can get like my kids like dentist or something like that. That is going to have more impact on your day-to-day life than any decision that's going to be made on the Capitol Hill. But that's just me.
Yeah, and I think that.
Please give me.
I'm gonna throw to you for 30 seconds, but I'm gonna put a bow on what he said, and I think that you made a great point, in which I think is where, like, what you said was like the soft version of how a lot of the evolution to how a lot of Black men end up leaning conservative ends up being, where when you start looking like purely my family, and it becomes individualized to an extent, if you understand what I'm saying. And then it's like, all right, so what is my socioeconomic level, and what each person that is running is going to individually benefit us. But you had a rebuttal, you had a conversation, you had a point that you wanted to kind of get to.
I'd like to
30
jump in
seconds
there
on the clock, and then I'm gonna raise it up. Then we're gonna kind of
let
wrap up.
Let the Rail jump in there, then let me go.
Can I jump in?
Okay. All right. So hold on. Wait. I'll say this. So we passed that mark. I'm gonna give it kind of pretty much everybody. Oh damn, Trey, did you answer this question?
I answered the question about if there's a conservative push.
All
I
right.
don't think it's one of those.
All right, cool. So pretty much we're gonna go ahead and wrap it. With the wrap, I want everybody pretty much go ahead and get. I'm gonna put 1.5 minutes. When you see me wave the hand like this, that means you didn't hit the time mark. Go ahead and say your ending piece to the conversation. I think this has been a fire conversation. I'll start with G, and then we'll kind of like, pretty much go clockwise.
In with me.
Okay. G.
Man, I just want to say, G Shit podcast focus on 5 F's: family, friends, finances, freedom, and future, and fuck everything else. And a big part of why I focus on those F's is because of what my man just said. I'm a big believer in what's actually within my control to make a difference. And I feel like we get wrapped up too much sometimes in trying to impact things that are actually not within our control. And while we can make a difference, we don't control America. We don't control these institutions. So then we got to create our own ultimately. And how do we create those? I think it's through largely those F's. We got to keep our families intact. We got to value our friendships in the community, even when we have difference of opinion. And I think even more importantly, the finances behind what we do. If we're not diligent there, we're not going to see any real changes. And I just got to say, I know we had all this talk about Candace Owens, but I'm telling you right now, no way is R. Kelly less dangerous than Candace Owens. We got to make sure that is abundantly clear before we drop this call, bro. We cannot get off of here having people thinking that Candace Owens is more of a threat to people, to human beings, regardless of race, than R. Kelly. I'm sorry. That one was wild. I'm sorry.
A Black. It's on you.
Yeah, man. Great conversation. I love these dialogues, and I never take anything personal. I feel like we can talk politics all the time, but for us specifically, I feel like there's definitely a spiritual problem that's going on, which leads into what a lot of people spoke on, which is our family structure. And until we kind of handle those things, the politics, they don't really matter. Like I say, I enjoy the conversations, but Black people's space, whether it's Democrats, Republicans, Joe or Donald, we go pretty much be the same. Look at all the statistics across the board, how much we own, how much money people make. Our place in this society don't really shift too much. Maybe the emotions shift, but as a whole, nothing shifts. So, we got to get back to the spiritual warfare, rebuilding families, not discounting the moral decay that we're seeing in our mass media and our programming with our artists that they are projecting as our leaders. Candace Owens, to me, like I don't feel she's done enough to be fully condemned. There's some wild things that she said and have tweeted, as we all have, but I don't think it's worth condemnation or exile yet. I'm excited to see her growth. I'm glad that more Black people are starting to kind of see who she is, not just Black intellects and Black people that are into this shit. Like, a Black person I saw the past 2 weeks talking about this woman, like the people that have never talked about them, my regular hood chicks and shit. So for me, that's good because it's like nurturing thought, and you can grow from that. And other than that, man, I'm just looking forward to the next conversation.
For sure.
Get down this whole FBA shit for real.
Now I'm excited about this conversation.
FBA shit. Why are you talking about my lineage so disrespectfully, bro? Like, what if I say you're Jamaican shit? Like, come on, bro.
I think A Black is FBA.
Your own lineage, we discount Africa, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah. But Alex, you up on it?
So disrespectful, bro.
Yeah, I know this conversation was mostly centered around Candace Owens and the conservative movement. Honestly, I don't think Black people being conservative is anything new. I think Black people kind of been conservative for, bro. Like, why are you got a problem with me or something?
Oh, I think he probably laughing at something else. It looked like.
I don't know.
Yo, look. I have no problem with you. Calm it down, bro.
Like, well, why are you so disrespectful, man? Like, everybody's quiet when you talking.
I'm not being disrespectful. I was laughing at something
my elder,
else.
But like, Unc, you gotta give respect, man.
I apologize. I was laughing at something that just came up on something I was writing down.
No, you're not
my book
to the conversation.
ran to something else.
Got it. Thank you.
Go ahead. you're sensitive. I apologize.
No, you an
Hey,
asshole.
Fellas, come on.
hey. We trying to wrap
Let's
it
get
up. We
through
was
it.
almost finished. We was
Almost there.
there.
He was like right there at the layup. Come on, fellas. Let's finish the game.
No, let him talk. He got something to say. Go ahead.
Alex, finish your point, bro.
Yeah,
No,
you got
go
it,
ahead,
bro.
Mr. Magoo.
Hey,
Master of Disguise. Go ahead, Turtle.
hey, can I? Hey, Quinn.
All right,
Hey, Quinn. Can I get
so
it?
I'll throw to you then, Johnny.
Yeah, because middle ground, Johnny. I'll try to, kind of bring peace to it. But like I say, I think all the perspectives, are healthy. I think we've almost brought it full circle. Like I said, we was almost there. But I will say this, kind of based on where we was ending it. A lot of, and if you go back to the podcast, accountability, empathy, discipline versus grace. I'll say a lot of the discipline, the accountability, they got to be personal. They got to be amongst you and your family. The grace, the empathy, they got to come in the community. You got to have grace and empathy for your community. You got to have accountability and discipline for yourself. Like I say, I'm a guy that I'm a true independent. It's a lot of stuff on the left I agree with, a lot of stuff on the right. But I think balance is very important, especially when we have these type of conversations. When we talk about the community, we bring in a lot of people within it, and we trying to kind of bridge these gaps and have this communication. So, like I say, I think that balance is very important. That's where I'll leave it.
Trey.
I'll say I think that seeing Black people vote their interests versus voting for a party just because your grandma says so and they've been doing that forever. I think it's a good thing as long as we stay focused on the keyword tangibles, like no promises, no like things like we need to be getting something for our vote, like something that they do and they're running on needs to be something positive that will benefit us. Otherwise, there's really no point in voting. And like when Ice Cube went and he wanted to talk to Trump and he wanted to talk to Biden. Biden didn't want to talk to him. He ended up talking with Trump. I think if someone's willing to listen and ask you what you want, I think you'd be a fool not to go and have a discussion with them, whether that's on either side. And whatever side's going to offer you something, that's the side you vote for. And I think if we don't vote as a monolith, or we will vote as a monolith if it benefits us. But if there's nothing benefit us, I think it benefits us to kind of be split so that way our vote's kind of up for grabs. So it motivates them to do something to get our swing vote. Because right now, if not for the Black vote, I'm not sure if the Democrats would have ever won an election. So for them to live and die off of us and never do anything for us is disrespectful. So I think it's up to us to, if we continue to reward them with our vote without demanding anything in return, then I think we're training them that it's okay to take us for granted. So let's say I'm not like a Democrat or Republican. Just want to reiterate that, but I'm about tangibles. And also, I think a clear evidence that if there's not really a conservative push is if Trump wasn't on the ballot and you replace him with like a Lindsey Graham or one of those other guys, I think Black people would just stay at home. There'd be no people talking about voting for Republicans. Only reason people voting there is because of Trump. And I'll end on two quick things. One, that last little snide remark a little bit about FBI. I'm not going to be too sensitive, but that is the whole reason why there's this whole divide right now. Like, I think when Cat Williams said, this year a lot of truth's going to come to light, I think we spent a long time in my lineage kind of being accepting a lot of people to say snide things about us and allowing us to take advantage of our vote. I think people are finally waking up and defending, like speaking up for themselves and making sure their interests are known, and that's a good thing. And the last thing, R. Kelly may be the greatest R&B singer of all time. And Candace Owens is irredeemable.
That's all that matters. That nigga got the best catalog ever. That's all that matters, right?
Yo.
And this is why I love Trey. It's not a time that he not going to double down. Hey, Trey, we appreciate it. I got to throw the effort down.
I got you, bro.
All right.
He is the GOAT. I have to admit, he is the GOAT, though. Kels is the GOAT. He's a GOAT. He is the GOAT.
Yeah. Respect, bro. Appreciate it.
That nigga dangerous. That nigga is dangerous.
I'm sorry. And so was Candace Owens.
All right,
Nigga
it's on you.
steal the
Hold
show
on,
every
give me,
time, bro.
give me one. I'm getting it together.
Okay.
Oh boy, this nigga Trey.
Whoo! Oh, I love y'all. I love y'all. We love ones. I love y'all. Here we go. Yo, look, for real. We all know Candace Owens was a plant. She was planted there to do what she did. She did what she did. Once she came to reality, things happened, and we let it happen. I read out with Puffy. Come on, Puffy, P Diddy. You know, hell, we got that out of me with Puffy and all this shit since that. We
Did
always
he
knew
do it or
about
not?
Puffy, but we didn't do it. We did it. We didn't do it. We got Puffy. 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 Did he do it? Did he do it? Puffy. Puff. All right, we going on with the puff. Hey.
Oh boy, I love you, Unc.
Hey, you got 30 seconds
Real
left. You
quick,
got 30 seconds.
we come from here. All right, we got to vote locally because we have to vote locally because pothole in your yard means something. It means something to you. It means something to everybody else. And you got that geek jelly in my seconds. How I go? Leave me alone with my seconds. Cause you give everybody else their motherfucking minutes. Leave me the
It's
fuck
over to
alone,
you,
nephew.
Q.
Oh, now
You
listen.
talk about,
My hand
you know what I'm
be
saying?
waving for
But I'm
everybody.
saying, I ain't going overtime. Don't do it to me. I'm saying, let me goddamn finish. You goddamn put on my time right now. What you okay?
Oh man.
All right, what I'm saying to you is that you got to vote locally because you have to understand that if you don't know your constituents or they don't know you, they're not gonna do shit for your neighborhood. So first of all, vote locally because you got potholes in your neighborhood. You have fucked up shit in your neighborhood. You have to know who your goddamn city council people are. You have to know who the fuck goddamn gonna take care of your neighborhood. Emery, I'm fucking with you again. I love you, bruh. And this why. Got to vote. I'm fucking with you. Got that nigga wants to sleep. Look at him. He sleep. I'm fucking with you. But anyway, I'm saying
Wrap up time, Mom.
what I'm saying is that vote locally. Vote locally and get your shit together. Hold on. I got 30. Okay, here we go. Wrapping it up. What you got there? 30 seconds. Red heifers. Goddamn, everybody on here with the red heifers. Goddamn, if you don't know about the red heifers, get the red heifers in your goddamn shit. Red heifers. Today is the day. The red heifers. The red heifers. Y'all mad. Look at Johnny goddamn mad.
It's the 28th. He told us the 28th. It's the 28th. He told us about the 28th. I don't know what's gonna happen.
He told us about it. Unc, we love you.
Love you,
all right, so again, this has been a well-spirited conversation. We got to wrap it up. We actually went way past what we said we was gonna go to. But again, the main conversation was based around Candace Owens. We have gotten derailed a couple of different times. We went into a couple of different little potholes, whether it was the ADOS conversation or I don't know. We've been all over the place. But I do appreciate, fellas.
Fuck, man, it's hell.
All the different little commentary. Yeah. Again, this has been Unpacked. This is the To Be Fair show. This is in collaboration with the G-ish podcast. We have had A Black, we've had Alex, we've had Trey, we've had Johnny, we've had Unc turned all the way up, in which, again, see us every single Wednesday, 9:30. Next week, we'll be talking about ADOS versus the Pan-African, or FBA versus Pan-African. I'm going to try my hardest to get some Africans on the actual panel so we can have like these real full conversations. But again, this has been a great conversation. Has been Unpacked. Peace.
We done? Y'all niggas still here?
Yeah.
Who's still here? I think.
Peace, good show, fellas.
All right, everybody good?
Yo, I love y'all, man. For real. I call everybody like I see.
This shit still streaming? It's still streaming?
Nah, it's not streaming no more.
Hey, this
It's
the
saying
post
it's
show,
live on
G.
my end.
Is it really?